and Zimbabwe's Chipo Mugeri Tirapano, and we have match referee Phil Thompson as well. Gabby, you've got the coin?
Tails the call. Heads it is.
Gabby, you've won the toss. What are you going to do?
We're going to have a bell first today. There's obviously been a bit of rain around and wicket's been under the sheet, so hopefully we can get some moisture in and hopefully move right first up, and then hopefully it'll get some sun on it towards the back end.
You've had a big block of domestic cricket, a new coach coming in, Lloyd Tennant. How do you feel the squad's going ahead of this series?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. You know, it's kind of like a reset. I think especially after Pakistan and the disappointment there, you know, it's a bit of a reset here, and we're ready to you know, take on this next chapter ahead of us.
There seemed to be a lot of cheers in the team group, the team huddle. What was happening there?
So we've got Lara McBride making her debut today, and it was also Leah's 50th T20 cap. So it's a very exciting day for not only the start of her career, but a reward for how far Leah's career has gone as well. So yeah, really exciting day.
Final question. It's the first game kind of the domestic summer, and a big series coming up against Pakistan, and then the qualifiers. What are you hoping to get out of this series?
I guess it's just to work on the things that we've been speaking about and kind of bring that competitiveness back into us, especially in the field. So I think, you know, really looking forward to starting off this home series with, you know, a series against Zimbabwe. So really looking forward to it.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Good luck in the match. Chipo, come and join me. What would you have done if you won the toss, and why?
We would have loved to go first, since we don't know the conditions of the pitch, but it looks like it's a good pitch to bat, also. Yeah. I think,
It's your first series coming over to Ireland, first bilateral series. What are you expecting?
We're expecting to win. We are to remain positive, despite what happens when Ireland came to Zimbabwe. They beat us 5-0. So we're trying to remain positive and to win some games,
Yeah, you're yet to beat Ireland in a T20 international, but there were a couple of really close matches in the 7 matches. What are you trying to do to make sure you get over the line in this match today?
We have prepared so well since January. We've been busy, so I think if you just execute whatever plans we had,
And finally, what do you think a good score is going to be here?
140 plus,
Okay, so 140 plus, and you feel like you're in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much, Chipo. So the news from the toss: Ireland have won it. They're going to have a bowl first.
Thank you, Isabel. So, Celeste, the decision from Ireland, they've won the toss and they're going to bowl. What's the reason for that, you think?
First game of the season, it's always great to get the whole team out there together at the start of the game. So it's a great atmosphere, getting the fielding team together, getting out there, seeing what Zimbabwe can put on the board, and then trying to chase it down for Ireland.
Okay. Debutant today, 19-year-old Laura McBride, played for the Irish under-19 team at the World Cup. What will she bring to the party?
She's really impressed with her off-spin. She recently converted from a seam bowler to an off-spinner. She's been at it for about a year and a half now, and really exciting opportunity for her to really show what she can do in senior international cricket today.
And we must congratulate Leah Paul as well, because it's her 50th international cap.
Most definitely. That came up really quick, snuck in out of nowhere. Huge congratulations to Leah Paul, who has really put in huge performances recently and been a real important part of this Irish team.
It's a new era for Irish cricket as well. Ed Joyce has stepped down from the women's role after, 6 years in charge, and Lloyd Tennant has now come in. It's his first game. He's obviously going to be very, very nervous himself as well about this whole series, isn't he?
He'll definitely be keen to put his own stamp on this Irish women's team and lead them in his own direction. So, exciting to see how they play under him.
Yeah. How did you think Ed Joyce did under his stewardship? Of course, you played.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He really added a lot to the batting, especially being the batter that he was over his career. He brought in new ideas. He developed players so well. So he's really done his bit for Irish women's cricket, and now it's going to be great to see what Lloyd Tennant can do going forward.
The 3 disciplines, of course, is the batting, bowling and the fielding. And there's been question marks down the years, I suppose, about the quality of Irish fielding. It's something perhaps they need to really work on.
And yeah, you're exactly right there, John. And the thing is, with the professionalism of the women's game, there is able to be more time spent on the fielding. The other parts of the game, the athleticism and everything else, there's more time for players to be able to work on those intricacies. So this new era of women's cricket, we are starting to see the fielding improve throughout all around the world.
The Evoke Super Series, you were now involved in some commentaries on that. Sometimes you might think, can they bring this fielding into the Irish scene? They'll be in trouble. It's something that has to be brought through, right through, hasn't it?
That's it, and we see the depth starting to increase in women's cricket here. So the fielding in those series where there's 3 teams and it's diluted a bit more will continue to improve as time goes on.
Great crowd in as well, isn't it? I mean, we had some rain this morning. Thankfully, that's cleared. It's a very sticky kind of day as well. So that's obviously another reason why Ireland have decided to bowl.
Definitely, it'd be a good day to get out there and yeah, get bowling early just in case it's rain affected. But we're optimistic here in the commentary team that they'll get a good game in today.
It's a good place to play cricket, if you're telling me. You like playing down here?
Certainly do. I remember there was a win that we had in 2022 against South Africa, and it was packed out and it was brilliant. So it's the crowd really get behind the women's game here. It's a brilliant atmosphere in Pembroke.
Yeah. So Ireland against Zimbabwe in the 3 T20s, and then they move to 2 one-day internationals before they take on Pakistan as well. So it's obviously very important that Lloyd, the new head coach, learns as much as he can from these series.
Oh, that's right. There's the really big series, the T20 qualifier coming up early next year. So he'll be building. He'll want to sink his teeth into this series and see what he can do to really prepare his team for that series coming up.
Ireland have never lost to Zimbabwe. Do you think that's going to continue?
Well, it's hard to say. Zimbabwe are quite an unknown quantity at the moment. They've sent a lot of their previous under-19 World Cup players over. Few of their stalwarts aren't playing in this series, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do.
OK, we'll be joining you for commentary very, very shortly indeed. But for the moment, let's join the 2 teams out in the middle for the 2 anthems.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now Ireland's call.
Well, there you go, the two anthems. Ireland against Zimbabwe. Remember, Ireland have won the toss and they will bowl. So let's take you to our commentary position and introduce you to Celeste Rack. But first, the former Irish captain, Isabel Joyce.
Yeah, many thanks to John Kenny for that. And great to have those thoughts before the game. It is, as you said, Celeste, Zimbabwe, they're a little bit of an unknown quantity, and they wanted to bowl first. No surprise there that they're going to have to bat first. I asked the captain, Chipo Magari Tirapano, what she thought a good score was here. She said 140. What are your thoughts on that?
I'd say she's about right there. We've seen a lot of runs scored at Pembroke Cricket Club over the years. It's generally a high-scoring ground. But as we know with T20 international cricket, if you can get a good score on the board like 140, it does put pressure on the opposition.
Yeah, I just wonder, it's been such a good summer here. Weather-wise of 140 might be a little bit light, but the boundary is pretty much even all the way around. And there has been rain about. So that kind of really quick running outfield that we've been used to seeing the last couple of months, maybe a little bit slowed up first up, and Ireland batting second will probably have the best of conditions because we're hoping the rain is going to stay away. It would have been such a shame, wouldn't it, if the rain had just come in for this match. We've had such incredible weather the last couple of months. It wouldn't be great luck. So a debutante today, Lara McBride, coming in, and we saw a lot of cheers and happiness around the group for her. What a moment for her. Tell us about what she'll be feeling right now, Celeste.
Such a special day for Lara McBride and for her family and friends and everyone at the Hills Cricket Club. It's no doubt she'd be nervous coming out to play in her first international cricket match. But yeah, she was also a junior at North County Cricket Club. But she'll have a big contingent of those clubs here today watching her play, and she's supported by great people that she knows well.
Yeah, 50 caps as well, 50 international caps for Leah Paul in the middle of the screen there. She'll have bat in hand later on, no doubt, from Marion Cricket Club. She was someone who's kind of reinvented herself in T20 cricket and really central to the batting lineup now. And we're hopeful we might see her with ball in hand as well today.
That's the hope. She's been bowling well this summer in the cricket that she's had the opportunity to bowl in so far. But she has, like you said, reinvented herself from someone who used to bat at the top of the innings to someone who bats in the middle order and can score quite quickly all around the ground.
Yeah, really inventive cricketer. We'll see that later on, no doubt. We're going to see Orla Prendergast opening the bowling at her home club. Plenty of internationals come from Pembroke Cricket Club on the men's and the women's game. We'll have a couple from this club in Louise Little and Orla Prendergast. But she'll have the new ball. She'll be looking to swing it around. She'll be up against left-hander to start off with, Kellison Clovu. I didn't recognise her, actually, I have to say, Kellison Clovu. She used to have the really short hair, and it's been a couple of years, it's been a year, and she's got the long locks out, but she's a very classy left-hander at the top of the order, really important to the Zimbabwe bowling and batting lineups. And I think she's with Modesta Mupachikwa at the other end, the top run scorer for Zimbabwe since 2019. 1,350 runs for her. But they're missing a couple of senior players that we would have been expecting to see. Top run scorers that are missing in third place and fourth place, Marianne Masonda and Sharon Myers. So it'll be important. Orla Prendergast starts with a short one down leg, and a little bit of luck goes her way as Zimbabwe get up and running with a single. That could have gone absolutely anywhere.
It could have. It's not often we see Orla Prendergast miss at all. It looks like she might have stopped on the crease there a little bit. Like we said, it's her home club, and no one is more familiar with these conditions than Orla Prendergast herself.
Yeah, I just wonder what happened there. Ball stick in the hand, or it's the first ball of the Ireland Women's International home summer. So maybe just a little bit of nerves. Slip in place. Short, and that goes past Cara Murray in slip. That'll race away for the opening boundary.
And she's got a good piece of bat on that. Prendergast again. A little short, a little bit wide there to Mupachikwa. And she's got just enough of it to fly past slip there for the first boundary of the day.
Just maybe expecting more swing than is on offer. Absolutely no movement so far. Obviously, just a couple of balls in, but Yeah, if you get it past the infield here, straight in particular, you tend to get good value. Oh, there you go. Is that taking the glove? Kim Cotton is asking, has it reached the keeper? She's got the confirmation, and that will be the first wicket. Mark Hawthorne and Kim Cotton, the two umpires, working in tandem to make sure that they make the right decision. But that, for my money, that went all the way through. Clean take from Amy Hunter, opening wicket for Ireland. Mupachikwa goes for 4 from 2. Zimbabwe 5 for 1.
It's a bit of disappointment there from Mupachikwa. You could see she was looking at umpire Kim Cotton there, hoping that she would give it the not out. But Prendergast has struck for Ireland, as she so often does in the first over of the game. Orla Prendergast looks like she's getting more into a run up there. And this ball has come back in at Mupachikwa. It is not a very nice delivery to face this early in the match. And it's taken the glove and she has to go.
Yeah, the first two deliveries, no swing at all, and maybe that lulled Mupachikwa into thinking that there wasn't going to be. But that one, the seam position correct, and yeah, she loves playing through backward point, does Modesta Mupachikwa. She was looking to play in that favourite area again. So first wicket going down early. It's all happening.
It really is.
Boundary, wicket, two left-handers out at the crease now.
Which is something Ireland are not used to. Not many left-handers here in Irish women's cricket.
So it's the captain out at number 3, Chipo Mugeri Tirapano. Good short ball again into the body of Tirapano. Did she get the glove on that? Let's have an eye at Kim Cotton. Yeah, signals that it is runs. So both batters now up and running.
It just shows there is a bit of bounce out there. Orla Prendergast is bowling back of a length, but for both batters, this ball has got up. Caught them by surprise.
Yeah, she's one of the bowlers in the lineup that has that ability to extract any bounce that's there. There's another short one in it. Nklovu this time. Might see a change in the field if she continues to bowl that length, take that mid-on out and plug the gap at square leg. It's such a big start to the summer, isn't it, for this group, because they have those Europe qualifiers at the end of August. So there's 2 spots that go through from that, 4 teams taking part. Eased away down to Laura Delaney down at 3rd. Scotland will get through to the global qualifiers by virtue of being in the last World Cup. First over gone, it's 8 for 1. And 2 more spots available to between the 4. So it's Ireland, Netherlands, Italy and Germany.
And they always did feel like the biggest tournaments, really, the qualifiers. It felt like there is a lot on the line during those tournaments. So the preparation they need, more matches.
Yeah, and Italy have some new players in their ranks. Good to see families coming in. It's Club Colours Day. Lots of Marion shirts on show. There's the former Ireland coach in the middle there. Got his club shirt on. I don't think I've ever seen him wear a Marion shirt. I haven't seen him wear a Marion shirt in a very long time, Ed Joyce. But it's Jane Maguire who'll take the second over. And I like this combination. Orla Prendergast bringing the ball away from the left-handers. Jane Maguire will swing it into them. Her dad actually in the corner of the screen there, I think. No, that's Richard Holdsworth. National selector Ciara O'Brien as well. Starts with the short delivery. Just, they seem to be keen to bowl short at these Zimbabwe batters.
They do indeed. Perhaps it's a tactic that they all discussed prior to the match today. It's been bowled with reasonably good effect so far. Prendergast at the other end.
It looks like a really green pitch, doesn't it?
Oh, it's very green.
But it's played pretty well so far. Curator Del McDonough knows what he's about. He looks after a lot of grounds here in Dublin. Just a little tickle down leg side. I think that shot really shows you that they're looking for that 140 rather than aiming any higher to 160, 170. Down leg side didn't look to be too expansive. Yeah, Kellis Clovu was the captain of the Zimbabwe under-19s when they took part a couple of years ago. A bit of a shock they didn't make it through to the second edition.
Great to see a lot of former under-19s playing today.
Struggling with her line a little bit. Jane Maguire, I was chatting to her the other day. She didn't get to bowl a lot in the Evoke Super Series T20 festivals because she had a bit of a knee injury, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was her knee, she was saying.
And then went into her hamstring and then moved everywhere around. They weren't quite sure what it is, but good to see that she's back fit. Needs to find the radar, though.
And it is so tough coming back and bowling in international cricket.
Looks like a bit of a change to the run-up.
Definitely, it looks a little shorter. And as we said, Lloyd Tennant, new head coach, is a bowling coach as his prominent skill. So I'm sure we're going to see a few different changes with bowlers, a few new ideas.
Yeah, I think we saw it in the warm-up, didn't we? We saw a lot of kind of differences in the bowling ranks. A few people being left out today. Ava Canning, we're so used to seeing her with the new ball. That looked a bit better from Maguire, but still bowling pretty much a good line to a right-hander. Yeah, Ava Canning not in the 11, Sophie McMahon and Christina Coulter-Riley. Any surprises in there for you?
I would have expected Ava Canning to be in the 11 today, but again, it's great for Ireland that they do have multiple bowling options, and you could really go either way with a few of the bowling choices at the moment. So great to see Jane Maguire getting a chance, and I'm sure Ava Canning will be waiting in the wings when she gets another opportunity.
That's better from Maguire. Hasn't really been made to pay too much for bowling a little bit down leg side. We do have today's game and a couple more T20s in Pembroke Cricket Club. If you haven't got tickets yet, there's still tickets for sale for Tuesday and Wednesday in the afternoon. And then if you're based in Northern Ireland, we have a couple of one-day internationals that follow those games up on the Saturday and the Monday. That's in the air. Nicely picked up from Clovu. It had the length that she wanted. Didn't try to hit it too hard. It's her opening boundary and with the minimum of effort.
And that's really well played there by Clovu. She's been a little bit too straight with the line, Jane Maguire, and she got away with it for a few balls there, but Clovu has picked that one up really well. A little bit more length, a little bit fuller, and she's capitalised on the vacant deep mid-wicket region there. Message to Maguire that she might not get away with that line for too much longer.
Yeah, good to see the Zimbabwe supporters in. And as always, a bit of music and some dancing. Always bring a bit of flair.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Orla Prendergast well second, or her second. That helped down leg side again. Just playing a little bit within herself, Spiwe Tirapano. I suppose it's such an inexperienced lineup. She wants to bat long, especially the first game. You don't want to have a collapse the first game of a three-match series. She alluded to the fact that they lost 5-0 in the T20 series between these two teams last year. That was in Zimbabwe. And they have plugged that gap in at square leg slip. It came out.
And that's it. It's so hard as a captain and one of the senior players. There aren't many players out there today in their 30s for Zimbabwe, and not many players that have more than 25 caps in T20 international cricket. So a lot of the responsibility does fall on the captain, Migeri Tirapano here.
Oh, there we go. Amy Hunter was running down leg side and then it swung prodigiously outside off. She had to get her skates on and just about palmed it down. They snuck a little.
It's certainly not much fun batting against Orla Prendergast. I'd say wicket keeping is very challenging as well.
Yeah, that looked for all money like it was going down leg side. It just seems to have a mind of its own, the swing today, doesn't it? And this one, no movement. So it's difficult as a swing bowler when you're setting up the line you're going to bowl based on swing and then it doesn't come. Then you go a little bit further to the offside, and then you'll get massive swing, and it'll be a wide on the other side. There's no justice.
Always the way. The one that does move is the one that you don't want it to.
It'd be interesting to see if they rotate the squad, Ireland, through this series and try and settle on what their best team is. They'll want a pretty settled team, you'd imagine, by the Pakistan series that's coming in August.
Yeah, and that's tough when there are so many changes at foot, with changing coach and players debuting and injuries. But the core group of this squad has been the same for a little while now, and it does make it easier to bring in players when the majority of senior players are settled.
Oh, just chasing that one. Nice movement from Orla Prendergast. I think she's getting a bit more joy when she goes that bit fuller. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's, I don't know, when I'm looking around, it's actually only probably 5 or 6 really nailed on spots. And then outside of that, you can see different combinations. Freya Sargent not in the squad here. She, you know, before the injury after the Under-19 World Cup, I think she was carrying that injury during India and the Under-19 World Cup in January and February. She kind of had the spot. That's found the gap between Stokel and Maguire in point. Good effort from Stokel, but it will find the rope. That extra bit of pace from Orla Prendergast helping it towards the boundary, and a really useful one at that.
That was really well weighted on there. Prendergast a little fuller with that delivery, and she's hit that lovely control through the gap there, just waiting on that ball with a bit more width. That's moved after having a bit of variation throughout the over in how much the ball was swinging.
Yeah, a couple of boundaries off the final deliveries of overs hasn't been too pleasing for Ireland. 23 for 1 Zimbabwe, so going actually at a pretty good rate, just below 8s at the moment. I think they would have taken that if you'd offered it to them. Would have preferred no wickets down. Jane Maguire to bowl her second. Better. Much better length, but they take a quick single. Rebecca Stokel having to move sharply to her left.
We've seen this ground, and when the sun is out and we haven't had much rain, it is very fast. So looks like there's a little bit of balance in it today for the fielding team and for the batting team. A little slower.
Certainly in the first innings anyway. I think it might dry out a little bit if we don't get any showers. Might get the best of it, Ireland, in the afternoon. And there's the short one. Arlene Kelly doing the fielding. She's been doing her warm-ups in the deep, so I think we might see her in the power play. And then there's a few spin options for Ireland, as well as Louise Little. She's another seam bowling option, but 3 spinners in the lineup. Cara Murray, then the debutante Lara McBride, and Leah Paul with her left arm spin. So a really well balanced bowling attack, and of course Laura Delaney. So loads and loads of bowling options for Gabby Lewis. There's the slower ball. It's a big weapon for Jane Maguire. Great to see she's not afraid to use it in the power play.
And that's potentially one of the real selection points that works in Jane Maguire's favour compared to Ava Canning, who bowls a big in-swinging delivery but wouldn't be known for mixing up slower balls as early in her spell as what Jane Maguire would. So Jane does give quite a lot of variety and pace.
Does Ava Canning have those change-ups in her armoury?
We've seen her bowl a few over the years, but...
Big shot down the ground, but I didn't really get any of that. Kellison Clovu. Good direction, though. The key was she tried to go straight back over the bowler's head.
Yeah, that'll be something that Ava Canning will look to continue to work on to get herself back into this 11. Because it is such a weapon for bowlers in the modern T20 game.
Yeah, very important not to be too easy to line up. Oh, well, that change in field, good. They've recognised very quickly, and this is something I really like about Gabby Lewis as a captain. She's very agile in the way that she goes about things. They'll have their plans before they come out, but she's not afraid to change the field or change the plan based on what she sees out there in the middle.
It is great to see someone that's quite proactive and doesn't just stick to the formula.
Really good line and length from Jane Maguire. She seems to have found the area that suits her. 4 dots to close out her second over. 4 gone, Zimbabwe 25 for 1. So it's amazing how quickly a tight over can slow that run rate down. It was just below 8 at the beginning of that over, and now it's just above 6.
It can really, one over can really change the game in T20, especially in the power play. It's it's not what Zimbabwe would have planned. 4 dots in a row at this really important part of the game.
Yeah, big couple of overs coming up because the field will spread, but Ireland squeezing quite a lot. You can see extra cover in mid-wicket. They're really tight. Arlene Kelly will bowl the 5th. Interesting to see who bowls the 6th. Will they keep Jane Maguire on, who seems to have kind of found her rhythm now with that second over, or will they maybe look to a Laura Delaney or one of the spinners? Big in swingers for the right-handers. Keep her up to the stumps. They'll be swinging away from the left-handers. Lulu Little in the deep, as she so often is. She's a great boundary fielder, and as this is her home ground, I think she'll be happy having played a few home games here, and it was really difficult fielding, wasn't it? Because the ground was so hard. A little bit of rain the last few days will actually have improved fielding conditions.
It can be such a challenging place to field out there on the boundary when the ball's bobbling around and it's hard diving and sliding.
Straight away gets the change upside, Arlene Kelly. That could have easily flown to, I think it's Lara McBride there, isn't it, in 45. It would be great for her to get in the game nice and early.
Lovely to get a few successful touches on the ball before she comes on to bowl. Arlene Kelly, of course, came over from New Zealand, has been extremely successful for Ireland in her 45 games played.
And that's where you want to be, that length, where you're just hitting the splice of the bat. It's different for every bowler, different for every pitch as well. And the other thing that's happened with the rain is that there isn't as much seed on the ground. There's not as many seagulls, or was it seagulls or was it pigeons that were taking up residence on the square here the last few weeks?
They've been in danger.
Yeah, we've had a few hit. Oh, there's the big away swinger, and Kellison Clovu 8 from 15, trying to get her innings up and running. Suya Tirapana has scored a couple of boundaries, so her strike rate slightly healthier. But Clovu just looking a little bit frustrated at this point.
Looks tough out there for her. Young player, different conditions.
That'll help. Lara McBride not quite getting there to keep it from going for 2. And just Arlene Kelly's not happy about something about her landing position there. We saw Orla Prendergast after her first delivery didn't go the way she planned. She didn't seem too happy either. Much better.
And that's a beautiful slower ball there by Kelly to finish off the over.
Yeah, great start from her. She gets through her over so quickly as well. 3 from that one, 5 gone. Zimbabwe 28 for 1. I think the key for them is that they've only lost 1 wicket. That's something they have to maybe think about. Maybe it's not boundaries. It's going to be running the ball around. There are quite big pockets here in Pembroke, so can you get it into the pocket and run 2s?
And that might well be the key for Niklovu, who's been struggling to score regularly off multiple balls. Hitting pockets in here can be very effective.
Here we go, the debutante, Lara McBride. I think this is a good move from Gabby Lewis when you've got someone who's on debut and they've got a milestone or something like that. You get them in the game early because otherwise they can sit stewing and thinking about it too much. So, yeah, they've brought her in to bowl spin in the power play. That's a big challenge for the spinner from Fingal. Great start straight away. Big shade. I think that's outside the line. Mark Hawthorne immediately moving away to the side, but it wasn't far away.
Not far away, and that's got to be a great boost in confidence, landing exactly where you want to on the first ball, seeing the batter play an aggressive shot straight away. She'll be encouraged by that, McBride.
It should be really tough to play in these conditions with a slightly slower pitch than we're used to seeing here. She's not afraid to take the pace off. Slightly round arm.
Yeah, I agree. I think today's conditions will definitely suit her.
Interesting to see a reverse sweep. First up, you've never seen someone bowl before. Here we go again. I'm not quite sure how that's got there.
No, very strange series of events there, but interesting to see. It's clearly a go-to for her. Now that she's tried two and neither of them have worked, it'll be interesting to see whether she continues that as a tactic.
Yeah, well, there is only one fielder in backward point there, so she sees an opportunity, but yeah, strange when you don't really know a bowler yet. A little bit short and wide. That's going to be a lot of work for Arlene Kelly. She manages to get there, and they don't get a run. That's really poor for Zimbabwe. Speedway Tirapano should have definitely just run straight away. As soon as you see the dive happening, you know you can get down.
Yeah, definitely disappointing there from Zimbabwe.
Well, Prendergast cuts that one off, but much better running on that occasion. Big ball for Lara McBride. Just try and close out the over. There are two fielders in the deep are in mid-wicket and square. They're going to change the field now. Because of those two reverse sweeps, mid-wicket comes out. So you don't even need this reverse sweep to come off. You just need to play it to get that fielder in. And then goes the other way. So a really good first over for McBride. The bye and two singles from it. And her first over of international cricket. Well, very close to taking a wicket, and good to see the team acknowledging a big moment for her. Power play done. 31 for 1. I think that both teams will actually be pleased enough with that. Thanks to Celeste Rack, who'll go and take a break, and welcome back John Kenny.
Yeah, very good start for both sides, as you say. Zimbabwe losing that wicket in the first over, and that's the end of the power play. But that was a terrific over from Lara McBride. First time into it, first ball, almost got a wicket. So she must be very pleased with that. You can imagine the nerves, but you're 19 years of age, and what a fantastic start it was for her too. Just knocked around the corners, maybe split the fielders now. This one down there, so just be a single.
It seems to be a real area of strength for both these batters, often is for left-handers, especially when bowlers coming over the wicket at you. They tend to bowl in at the hip, so both of them quick to pounce on that, but not really with any great power is the problem. So they've only generally got one when they've played the shot.
Well, Zimbabwe started with, I'm going to run two here. Zimbabwe started well. You're going to say the likes of Lara McBride and Arlene Kelly in particular from the commentary box end, or where we're standing now, the St. John's commentary box end. Just tied them down a little bit. It wasn't the biggest score they got in the power play, but probably just a little bit below par. Ireland's fielding's been good as well.
Yeah, and I think you were spot on. The Arlene Kelly and Lara McBride, those overs 5 and 6, very, very quiet for Zimbabwe. And those are usually the two overs you really target in the power play in particular, especially if you've only lost one wicket. So I think they'll be a little bit disappointed because they were 23, I think it was, for 1 after 3. So they only managed to add a further 8 runs in the next 3 overs, which really isn't going to win you too many power plays. But Orla Prendergast was a little bit expensive for her in her first 2. That helped them. Changing the field, mid-wicket goes out. So no one saving the single apart from mid-on the leg side.
Kelly to continue then, better delivery. 31 years of age now, all-rounder. 46th T20 international for her today, so plenty of experience. 50th cap today for Leah Paul and the debutant Lara McBride. First game of 3, Tuesday and Wednesday, the remaining games in this series.
Yeah, and you talk about Arlene Kelly's experience, and actually, in some ways, 46 caps at the age of 31 doesn't really tell the story, because she played a lot of high-level domestic cricket in New Zealand before coming over to Ireland, and then by virtue of her relations, and she's got an Irish passport, she was quite late to actually debut, considering the level she'd played at in New Zealand. But she's taken to it really well, fits into the group, extremely well as well.
I think the fielding, as I say, it looks pretty sharp. It was a question I was asking Laura Delaney during the week when we did an interview with her about the fielding, and she was saying that a lot of the times Irish, especially the women's cricketers, get fast-tracked at a very young age. Call for stumping, and they're looking at Mark Hawthorne. No. But she was saying they get fast-tracked at a very young age, 16, whatever, and they're probably not fully developed. End of the 7th, 36 for 1. Not quite developed in that field as well. So it's something that they really needed to work on as well. I thought it was a very good point.
Yeah, I agree and I don't agree. In some ways, I don't think that's the case necessarily for this group. Actually, it's an older group than we'd be used to seeing, and I think that's by virtue of the fact that there's contracts and things. I actually think it's more to do with the fact that you when you go to international level and you play the teams ahead of you, they just hit the ball so much harder than you're used to seeing. There's only probably 6 or 7 players in Ireland that hit the ball like other teams do. So you're not facing that day in, day out. Even in Evoke Super Series, you're not seeing it enough. Lara McBride will bowl her second over.
Full toss. She's going to fall short, and we're praising the fielding there. Just bounces up and over the fielder down there, Rebecca Stokel, and away for the boundary.
Yeah, she didn't go early enough, and then she didn't bail early enough. She thought, okay, I'm going to come in and try and take this catch. It was a really slow ball from Lara McBride on purpose, I think, and Rebecca Stokel decided to try and come in and take the catch, and actually once she realised she wasn't going to get there, she should have maybe stepped back. But she's doing the right thing, going for the catch.
Much flatter delivery this time, worked around the corner. Bit of a slower outfield because of the rain we had this morning. It's not going to run through for 2 though.
Yeah, just back to that fielding thing. So I actually think what would help is those players coming through when they're kind of, say, Lara McBride's age, can you play some men's cricket? Because no matter what level you're playing men's cricket, they hit the ball hard. That's the big difference. In women's cricket, you might get someone who hits the ball hard, who plays camogie or something like that, but they maybe don't hit many of the balls hard because they don't have the technique. You've got Orla Prendergast, Leah Paul, Laura Delaney, Rebecca Stokel, those kinds of players. That might be a chance. It's the first wicket for Lara McBride in international cricket, and it's Kellison Clovu, a big wicket in terms of the Zimbabwe team. No nerves for the debutante, opening wicket for her.
Well, the team run to congratulate Lara McBride. That was only her second over in international cricket on her debut at 19 years of age. Second wicket to fall to 42 for 2, 7.3 overs gone. But it was a real moment of celebration for the Irish team and for Laura as well, or Lara.
Yeah, good length from her. It just stops on the wicket a little bit, back foot, and there's no turn. So Clovu just didn't have the room to get the hands through. Lara McBride, she is a gritty character. Gets across, no problem. An easy catch, but you have to take them. And especially when it's your first wicket, you could be forgiven for maybe having a few extra nerves, but not so for her.
Oh, can you imagine the nerves as that ball is coming towards you? Please don't drop it, please don't drop it. Lauren Suma, the right-hander, 28 years of age, comes into bat now. She's in her 39th international. And with the fall of that wicket, Ireland happy to get the breakthrough there, especially with the spinner.
Yeah, no, she'd be one of the more experienced in this lineup. As we've mentioned before, they don't have some of the more well-known players that we'd be used to talking about for Zimbabwe. So Lorraine Chuma, she's going to be important for them.
High score 46.
A 28-year-old. She's one of the few that's in her 20s in the team. Good comeback this from Lara McBride, because she went for 4 and 2 in the first 2 deliveries, then took the wicket. She'll be happy, I think, to have the right-hander. Definitely more comfortable against the right-handed batters.
And she can go over the wicket as well. Immediately off the mark down to Stokel there, that cover boundary.
Good to see Stokel back in Irish colours, because she was unavailable for that qualifying tournament in Pakistan a couple of months ago. I think she was missed from that lineup. They really could have done with her batting in the middle order. It'll be interesting to see what the batting lineup will look like. Who's going to open? Because new coach in. Will they go for Stokel at the top of the order? She's been batting at the top of the order in the Super Series. Or will it be the top three of Gabby Lewis, Amy Hunter and Orla Prendergast? So it's always really exciting when a new coach comes in just to see how they see it.
And McBride is varying her bowling, going round and over the wicket. It's been a little bit expensive, but she'll be very happy the way things have gone in that over, because she's taken the wicket to fall, the second wicket to fall, so at the end of that, the 8th over, 45 for 2.
An early wicket, Mupachikwa going to Prendergast early on, just took the glove, she went for 4, and Clovu didn't really get into her work, truth be told. She went just recently, first wicket in international cricket for Lara McBride, cotton bowled, and now it's the experienced Spiwa Tirapano and Chuma out in the middle, 13 and 2 for them.
Quick look at the bowling card to the right of your screen there. Orla Prendergast. A little expensive, but did take the first wicket to fall. And we've got a change of bowling now as well. From the commentary box in John's End. For the first time today, we're going to see the 32-year-old former Irish captain, Laura Delaney.
Yeah, there's an embarrassment of riches in the bowling departments in the 11 today, actually. We haven't seen Cara Murray yet. I actually think we'll probably see her from the other end, the Willfield Road end, probably next over. But Leah Paul waiting in the wings as well. Lulu Little, I wonder, will she get a bowl, or is she in the team as a batter?
And immediately on the money. It's 100th for her today. Bowling wise, she's already seen 113 T20 internationals before today, but it's the 100th time that she's bowling for Ireland. 87 wickets, best of 4 for 21. All-rounder will come in at number 5 for Ireland, former Irish captain, as I say, but missed a couple of series last year against Ireland and Sri Lanka. That might be a chance. Oh, it's just out of the reach of Arlene Kelly, and one moves all the way to the boundary for 4. That was half a chance.
Good looking shot though. She didn't try and overhit it. She might want to maybe put a little bit more into it the next time she plays this shot. But good technique, little shimmy down, held the shape, and Arlene Kelly, could she have done better there? She's a good catcher, but maybe not the most athletic in the team, so someone else might have taken that catch. Orla Prendergast in mid-on. I think if they'd switch positions, she might have taken it. Goes over extra cover this time.
Looks like they're intent on attacking Laura Delaney. There might be a run out here, and that's out. Well, this has been happening, hasn't it? Right throughout this innings, the batter's not getting the calls right. They tried to go for the second there, but a quick throw in from the field over the stumps to Delaney, who just whipped off the bails, and the third wicket falls. But the score on 49, disaster for Zimbabwe.
You're really disappointing running. There was never a second run there. Lorraine Chuma was determined to come back for a second for captain centre back, and it was the right decision from the captain, I'm afraid. And it's really disappointing. If you're a neutral watching the game, Lorraine Chuma has come in and made it look relatively simple. This one going out towards cover. Louise Little, one of the best boundary fielders for Ireland, on her home ground, knows the dimensions perfectly, cuts it off, bounces up nicely into her hands, and she gets a really quick release. Lovely distance as well for Laura Delaney to collect and take an easy chance. Not in the frame.
That was good cricket all around, wasn't it? This kind of talking about the feeling is moving quickly to the ball, waiting for it to come in. She's got a great arm, as you say, and it was right over the top of the stumps. Delaney didn't have to move at all, just whip off the bails. And then they were caught in no man's land, or no woman's land, and that was the end of that. The third wicket falls with the score just shy of 50. So bringing on Delaney has proved beneficial here for Ireland.
Yeah, and I think the key, you mentioned the ball came over the stumps. Louise Little plays all of her club cricket here, so she knows exactly what distance away from the bowler to throw the ball so it bounces up perfectly. Laura Delaney got into position. You said good cricket all around. Good cricket all around if you're Ireland, but if you're Zimbabwe, really poor cricket because they've gone 4, and then that could have just been a single get-off strike. She was into her work so quickly there, Lorraine Chuma.
50 up for Zimbabwe.
Yeah, they would have got the 1, of course, from that attempted 2. They completed the first run. It was the second run where the run out was affected. Beloved Biza, the new batter in. She's at the non-striker's end, of course, because of the run out being affected there.
16 years of age. Right-handed bat. In her 11th T20 international. It's down the leg side, should be a wide.
I wonder would Laura Delaney be better served bowling around the wicket. It looks like she's worked with Lloyd Tennant on completing her action. She had a little bit of trouble with her bowling it towards the back end of last year and the beginning of this year. But it looks like they've really worked on her completing her action. And if you bowl around the wicket, you might find that a little bit easier for the right-handed bowler. I think that's hit the pad.
Yeah. An appeal from bowler and wicket keeper. And Kim Cotton this end, the umpire says no. Just down the leg side. Yeah, clips the pad and through to the keeper. Today looking to do the feeling off her own bowling there.
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting stat that you said. That she's only bowled, this is her 100th out of 113 games bowling. I'm trying to think when she wouldn't have bowled.
It's the end of 9. 52 for 3. Captain is still there. A lot depending on her now. Beloved Biza has joined us, or joined her in the middle. She's only 16 years of age, as I say. Made her debut against Ireland actually in Harare last year.
Yeah, she's an exciting talent, isn't she? They need some new players coming through.
McBride's gone the 2 over so far, and she's taken a wicket as well, a caught and bowled. So they're going to continue with her.
She more uses drift than turn, Lara McBride. Changes her pace quite a lot. So you can see from that delivery, it started outside off because of her low arm action. What kind of swings into the left-hander.
That's a better delivery, but on the stumps, so able to push that into the mid-wicket region for a single. You were talking about a 140 target here, or total for Zimbabwe is what they're probably looking at, but 3 wickets to fall just might have stifled that just a little bit at the moment, so there's a little bit of rebuilding to do. And with the 16-year-old now just facing her first delivery, it's a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, I feel extremely old doing commentary on this.
Tirapana is 33, so don't worry. She's at the non-strikers end. Yeah, no, I think they're aiming for 140. I actually think that's nowhere near enough against this Ireland batting lineup, but it's going to take them a few games probably to figure out what a good score is.
Yeah, Ireland would open the batting with Gabby Lewis and Amy Hunter when they come to bat. Down the track, in the air. Should fall safely. And it does. Good bit of fielding down there to prevent the 4, so they run through for 2. That's good.
Yeah, Laura Delaney had a long way to travel. They've opted to have long off, or mid off inside the ring, so that's the gap for Biza.
Doesn't want to hang around, does she? Swung into mid-wicket. Just a single.
No, well, that was actually what I was going to allude to. There's no point in rebuilding too much and then ending up short. You're better off aiming high and falling well short than kind of getting to 120. Something like that's not going to win you too many T20 games, certainly not in a pitch like this.
Very green wicket as well, much flatter delivery. That one, it's smashed away by the captain. There's 2 fielders down there, but it's going to dissect them. And that's just smashed away. And McBride getting just a little bit of tap towards the end of the over. It's a nice paddle into the leg side for a boundary.
Yeah, what a Prendergast in there, very tight. So you need this to kind of land in your hands. Far too short from McBride, no turn on offer. And yeah, just bisects those 2 fielders long on and mid-wicket out in the boundary.
And that's the end of the 10th over. So we're midway through, with Ireland winning the toss today, deciding to bowl. So far, so good from their point of view. 61 for 3. The captain Tiripano there on 19, and the 16-year-old Biza at the other end on 3. And good crowd in, and good fun, good atmosphere. Hopefully the rain will hold off towards the end of the innings. We're talking about perhaps a little bit of rain here, but hopefully it will hold off. But there's a cracking atmosphere here as well. When you consider up the road, there's the All-Ireland hurling final that's going on, so a lot of focus on that from Irish domestic sports point of view. But this is international cricket. Ireland against Zimbabwe, first of 3 games. Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we've got a couple of one-day internationals up in Stormont. 2 of those before Ireland will face Pakistan and 3 T20 internationals. So the start of a summer for the Irish international women.
It's just really good looking action from Laura Delaney. I know I've been talking about it a little bit, but we've seen her struggle maybe in India, and then at the qualifiers in Pakistan she didn't look quite herself with ball in hand. Great to see her looking back to her best, because when she's bowling well, she's someone you can turn to in the tough moments. As I say it, it's bound to happen. The loose one down leg side helped on its way for 4.
Yeah, that was meat and drink really, wasn't it? It was poor delivery down the leg side. Just get something on that. It's going to run away for 4. Yeah, way down the leg side. Just nicely helped around the corner. Nobody down there.
Much better from Delaney there. It was her who bowled the over that saw Ireland go through to the World Cup. That was 2022 in Abu Dhabi. It was against Zimbabwe. She managed to help Ireland win by 4 runs, and that saw them go through to South Africa the following year. Missed out in the last World Cup. They'll be keen to get to the next one. This field from Arlene Kelly.
It's diving over the top of the ball. I don't know if it's going to make the boundary ropes. No, it isn't. She's just got enough on that to halt its progress towards the boundary ropes. Although it wasn't the greatest piece of fielding, but at least got something on it to prevent the boundary.
Yeah, it was hit with some good power. So she just about managed to get the left hand somewhat on it. Managed to save 1. Still good running. Got back for 3.
Yeah, 16-year-old's gone about her business all right. High score 48 in our 10 previous internationals. Beloved Biza. Purely Batty doesn't bowl. It's around the corner. There's a fielder down there. That's fine. Just to cut that off. Left-right combo as well is going to move the field around, of course, as well. And, you know, it'll change the angle of attack from the bowler's point of view as well. But I have to say, Biza looks really confident and compact, already onto 10 after just 7 deliveries as well. And she's settling to her task quite well.
Yeah, it looks organised. As you said, compact as well.
Looks to score. That's what Zimbabwe need now. It's up to 70. We're in the 11th over. And that's the end of that one. 11 down, 70 for 3. Give us a chance now to look at some of the bowling figures. You can see Orla Prendergast opening the bowling for Ireland, taking the first wicket to fall. McBride in her 2nd over, caught and bowled on debut. The 19-year-old Laura Delaney finished her 2nd over. And we're going to see Cara Murray, now the 24-year-old from Belfast, who's going to come on now from the far end. The Willfield Road end, as they call it here. There's a rows of houses just behind it. Those tents you can see there, that's the huge big black side screen. Behind that is the houses in there. Mrs. Kelly's number 24 has seen lots of white and red balls into her back garden over the years down there. And one famously, Kevin O'Brien smashed a ball into the car park and broke his own car window. That could be out, and is. Well, she's causing havoc down there. The spinners at the far end, and Murray comes on first ball, takes a wicket, and Biza, who said was looking confident and set, goes for 11, 70 for 4 now.
Yeah, hitting it against the spin, and an easy catch again for Lara McBride in the game. which is what you want for your debutante. Biza goes for a bright and breezy 11 from 9-1 boundary in there. She was entertaining while she was there, but all too short, Zimbabwe fans will say. Nice start from the leg spinner, right on the money straight away, caught high in the bat, and good positioning from Lara McBride. So Ireland just keeping things tight, maybe forcing that with the field placement as well. Good brave captaining to keep the straight fielders up. And another wicket goes down. So just losing wickets at the wrong times, and it's just halting their progress, Zimbabwe. Chiedza Dururu, the new batter in.
40 previous internationals for her. She's 2 runs shy of 300. High score of 44. Another who made their debut against Ireland in Harare, but that was in 2021. So wickets falling at the wrong time for Zimbabwe. 70 for 4 now. Trying to build partnerships, but first wicket fell, scored at 5, moved on to 42, then 49, and now the fourth wicket falling at 70. So not big partnerships down the line. Ireland will be happy to break them. And Biza, I thought, was looking really well set, but just caught one high, and an easy catch from McBride. Murray taking that wicket.
Yeah, the biggest partnership was for the second wicket. Well, that's when the two left-handers were together, but it was a little bit slow. So when they're trying to accelerate, that's when they're losing their wickets, which is a tale as old as time, I guess. You're trying to score runs more heavily and probably giving a few more opportunities than you want to. Sun looks like it's coming out on the wall. Oh, lovely, lovely bowling from Cara Murray.
Just a sharp intake of breath there, because at 1 second I thought it was going to just lob nicely into the hands of Orla Prendergast. It's a full toss. Ooh, big swing and a miss.
Yeah, good change up there from Cara Murray. I don't know if it was an attempted top spinner or a googly. Certainly a lot more flight on it, but it got a lot of dip right at the end. Got under the bat of Dururu. Good dots here for Murray.
Sounded like so should be a wide.
Just looks like she's decided to bowl a little bit more slowly through the air. Recognise that it's sitting up a little bit when she bowls it into the pitch.
Good first over from Murray, though. Wicket from the first ball. Now the leg side again. Mark Hawthorne with the arms outstretched.
Just can't get out of the over, can she?
Nope. And commentator cursing all the time as well.
Yeah. I hope you're not cursing all the time.
No. Curse of the commentator.
Just cursing the bowler. There you go.
Oh, just outside the outstretched arms of Prendergast there. She pumped that down the ground. Just going to get a single. It's a good first over, though, for Murray. A couple of wides in it. So just 5 from it. But the important wicket there of Biza to end that. The 12th over. Zimbabwe put into bat by Ireland, having lost the toss. Are 75 for 4.
A decent platform, but you just wonder if they can afford to lose any more wickets. Ireland will keep hunting. They know how that halts the batting team. Yeah, look at that. You need a fan on the wall. We didn't think that was going to happen when it was raining cats and dogs earlier, but
very famous wall down here is as well. And again, a lot of balls can end up in those gardens too. But it's a real sunspot, isn't it?
Yep. You need your sun cream on. Even when it doesn't seem like the sun is out, it's cloudy, you can still get burnt.
Jay Maguire's coming back to bowl her third over. Good opening spell, just the 9 runs conceded.
Still a little bit of shape on offer for her. Yeah, it's Club Colours Day here in Pembroke, so if you're going to come down for the second innings, if you're considering it, make sure you wear your club colours.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, where's your club colours?
I am. I'm dressed in black.
The neutral.
Yeah. You wouldn't like my club colours.
It sounds like there's a story in that. It's rotating the strike at the moment, these two. It's hard to see where their boundary options are. Mid-off, mid-on inside the ring. So if they want to maybe come down the pitch and look to clear those fielders, it's probably the percentage shot. Keeper is back as well.
Well, Ireland will be working on the medium pace bowlers from the commentary box in John's end, and obviously spin from the far end, and that seems to be paying dividends so far. Just a couple of singles from this Maguire over so far. She started well.
Oh, they're going to take on Prendergast here. Chance out.
Oh, that is brilliant piece of work. She is top class international fielder, bowler, batter, you name it. Orla Prendergast, the superstar of Irish cricket, throwing down the stumps. They were trying to get on with it, but Derula gone for 3. Quick single, but they picked the wrong fielder.
Yeah, you said it. There aren't too many fielders that you'd take on there. To be fair, it wasn't hit with a great pace. It was in towards the stumps as well. So the movement helped out Orla Prendergast. 3 from 6 from Derulu. And yeah, pushed a lovely tempo for a fielder to attack and quick release, but good feet from Orla Prendergast. She had to do a little bit of work. Just punch down. Have a look at how quickly she gets rid of the ball here, Prendergast. Little sidearm, and again, the 2 run-outs, the Zimbabwe batters haven't even been close. Really easy decisions. The second one for Kim Cotton, and I reckon that finger was raised before the bails were off. 77 for 5.
It's just the pickup as well. You can see she's just waited to get the ball into her hands before she tried to throw down the stumps, and it was just a wonderful piece of fielding. Had all 3s to aim at, but still had to hit them. 5 down now.
Nyasha Gwanzura is the new batter. She's at the non-striker's end because Biwe Tirapana, the captain, looking to get things moving. Short ball helped on its way. Gets it between the 2 fielders.
Yeah. Maguire just tried to get a short ball to the captain, but on top of that quickly dissects those 2 fielders down there at fine. And mid-wicket and all the way to the boundary for 4. Nice shot. Gwanzura facing for the first time.
Christina Coulter-Riley on the field at the moment. I wonder who she's
Deputising
fielding
for.
for. I think Laura Delaney maybe has gone off the field. Hopefully nothing too serious.
Nyasha Gwanzura, the 29-year-old. Now off the mark. Her second ball faced. Her 18th T20 international. And that's the end of 13. So Zimbabwe moved to 82 for 5, having lost the toss and been put into bat, thanks to Isabel Joyce for the time being. And Celeste Rack has rejoined us in the commentary box with 7 overs to go. Ireland in a decent position, and if they can get rid of the captain, Zimbabwe, I think, will be in real trouble. But they've got 7 overs to push towards that suggested figure of 140, perhaps.
It's been a clinical performance from Ireland here, taking the runner opportunities when they've come. Spinners bowling to good effect, as you said, from the Wilfield Road end there.
Cara Murray started with a wicket in her very first ball of this spell. Might think about a second one here. Nope. Thinking better of it. Only taking on the arm there of Leah Paul, who's in her 50th international today.
And beloved Beezer was looking like she was really starting to get on with things. Just perhaps taking on the spin of the first ball of a spell was a risk that she probably shouldn't have taken.
And so we're then facing then for the first time taking guard. Amy Hunter up to the stumps. We're going to move on here, but there's only 5 wickets to play with. So ball by Murray, just held it back.
She's got a lot more energy in her run-up than she used to, and I'm sure it's from Lloyd Tennant's influence. He's got a lot of the spinners getting through the crease a bit quicker.
It's full toss and down on one knee. He's going to pump it down the ground. That should go all the way to the boundary, and does so. The 2 fielders down there trying to converge on the ball, but it just had enough on to trickle itself over the boundary ropes, and a welcome 4. And that's a nice way to get off the mark.
That's exactly the ball you want, isn't it, John? When you're starting your innings, just a bit too much on it, bit over pitch there from Murray, and with no one out at long on there, wide long on is free, and you get balls that don't bounce.
It's in the air, and that's taken down there. It's long off, and another wicket falls, and that was a quick hello and goodbye.
It's a busy 3 balls from Gwanzura. Just didn't get enough onto that, especially with long off out. It's a hard shot to go over long off against Murray, who takes the pace off the ball.
That's their second wicket, Murray.
And it was the ball to go straight, but didn't get enough of it to try and go over the head there of Gabby Lewis at long off. It's a big hit out there, 61 metres in that corner. And off a bowler of Cara Murray's speed, you really do have to hit the ball hard to get that over the fielder's head.
That's the second wicket for Murray. Spinners have worked well down that end. McBride on debut, getting a wicket. Murray's got 2 now as well of the 6 to fall. So it's Francisca Chipari who's coming in to bat now. Chipari, right-handed, in her 17th international, and more known as a bowler. Highest score is only 2. So she'd be hoping to better that.
It's a tough ask.
It is. Well, coming in at a very crucial time for her country with 6 down. That 140 mark we talked about earlier on is looking a long way off now. Ireland getting through the wickets and through the overs very quickly. That was in the air for a second. Murray diving away to her right-hand side, just couldn't quite reach it. Chipari gets off the mark, does she?
No, they didn't run.
Didn't run.
Which is quite poor running, really, when you consider the amount of movement needed by the fielders to get that, cut that off.
14 down, 87 for 6.
Yeah, indeed, a tough time to come in as a lower order batter when the batters ahead of you couldn't quite keep up the run rate, and you've got the pressure on to put something respectable on the board to set Ireland a chase.
There's the bowling figures.
And Laura Delaney's coming back on. She's bowled her 2 overs for 16. And she's a very hard player to get away at this time of the game. She'll bowl the slower balls. She doesn't have much pace on the ball, even with a stock ball. So yeah, tough bowler for Zimbabwe to attack at this point in the game.
And all these wickets falling at the other end. The captain is still there, Gary Turipano. Just tickles it around the corner just for the single. Almost unnoticed. She's still out there, but at the other end, it's carnage.
It is, and she hasn't faced many balls, and it's tough to try and tick things over whilst you're seeing everyone else collapse at the other end. That said, she hasn't really managed to get ahead of the run rate here. She's flown under the radar, hasn't taken many risks.
Interesting there, watching Gabby Lewis come across to Laura Delaney, just have a little word in her ear, maybe a change in the field. Yeah, they're going to drop.
You can see long on there's gone out.
Yeah, on down to the boundary rope. And just drifted away. A wide ball. That's 1 for the total. They take anything now at this stage. Zimbabwe. Ireland have never lost in Zimbabwe in 7 previous T20 internationals. A new coach in Lloyd Tennant. Talked about that earlier on.
more known for his bowling coaching as well. And we were alluding to as well, Isabel, about the fact that it looks like she's finishing her action, and that's something new perhaps in Laura Delaney's locker, and maybe she's been working with Tennant on that.
Yeah, it's great to see, and even someone like Laura Delaney, who's been bowling for years in international cricket, it's great to see that even she can learn something new and pick up new skills.
Every day should be a school day, shouldn't it?
And there's no question that the batting improved under Ed Joyce's tenancy there. So it's always great to have changes, and the bowlers can start to benefit from a bowling coach coming in, and and the good work that was done with the batting can continue.
Yeah, I know that Tennant, I asked him as well, has he been in contact with Ed Joyce? He says, oh, yeah, very much so. He's been filling him in on what he's been doing for the last number of years as the Irish head coach over those 6 years as well. So you've got to pick the minds, don't you, of the previous incumbents to get settled in your own job and your own new role.
Definitely, yeah. There's always a bit of a break-in period starting with the new role, but if you can cut as much of that out as possible and hit the ground running with the help of everyone that's in the past coaching team, especially with such a big tournament coming up at the start of next year, it's very important.
Jabari facing. Full toss. Head height. A fielder down there is not going to cut that off. I think is that a no ball?
And I'd be surprised if it wasn't called now. You've got umpire Kim Cotton here.
Yeah, I think I saw
She
it
looked
out of
at
shot. Yeah,
Mark
Hawthorne, I think,
and
is given it as a no ball. Oh, it's definitely a no ball.
And Mark Hawthorne has signalled to Kim Cotton that will be a free hit.
And 5 runs as well. It's an expensive delivery, that one.
So first free hit of the game. Field, of course, is not able to change if the same batter's on strike.
Well, that's a shame from Zimbabwe's point of view. The swing and a miss to end that over, so Delaney got away with that one. So at the end of 15, 5 to go. Zimbabwe put into bat, having lost the toss, are 96 for 6.
Sometimes it's tricky, the free hit. We do often see them as dots. And your mind tries to think about every single possibility of where you could hit the ball, and then you end up not hitting it anywhere.
Very good figures. You can see the bottom right of your screen there. Cara Murray.
It's been a brilliant spell so far.
Yeah, 2 for 10, off for 2. Zimbabwe 4 shy of the 3 figures.
She's a long way forward there, Tirapano. Never easy to give those out, and there's such a big stride and so much doubt.
And Zimbabwe need her to be there at the death. Tirapano. Nice hands. This beats the diving fielder Leopold. They're going to come back for the second. That's nicely placed. Just run off the face of the bat for a couple.
And Ireland's boundary fielders are extremely quick out there. Louise Little, Orla Prendergast, Gabby Lewis has been out and about. When the fielders are behind the wicket, it's a bit of a change in personnel, but they've developed 4 very, very quick fielders in between positions there.
That's a full toss. And that's the reverse, and that's going to get Zimbabwe to 3 figures, and they're dancing away in the background, rightfully so. A lot depending on the captain now. Tirapano, nicely done. Murray's figures were pretty good, 2 for 10 before this over, but now conceded 6 in the last 2, and they've gone past 100, 102 for 6.
And she's been waiting on this one for the last few overs there, Tirapano. She's tried the reverse a few times and it hasn't come off. She's finally got the right ball put away there.
So we'll try it again.
And Murray does get a lot of drop. So she's not the easiest bowler to get behind the wicket there with the reverse. As we can see, one successful attempt and about 3 or 4 that she's missed.
Karen Murray should get past 50 internationals in this series. She's on 49 today. Beats the outside of the bat. An appeal from the bowler. Not many of the fielders, but certainly was allowed appeal from the bowler, but not given.
It was. She is cheeky, Cara Murray. You'll see her give umpire Hawthorne a bit of a smile there. Cara Murray from County Down, one of the very talented Northern Ireland cricketers we have here in the Irish women's team.
That's a good comeback. Got out of the over well with 3 dot balls. It ends the 16th, 102 for 6.
And Ireland would certainly take 6 off the over at this stage.
Tirapano, 33 years of age now, in her 58th T20. She came to the crease just shy of 1,200 runs, high score of 80 with an average of 26.26. So she can bat all right, and it showed with some of those reverse sweeps, especially in that last over, that she's a decent player. So 4 overs to go now. Maybe looking to push on towards that 140, but wickets have fallen. Chipari at the far end, 5 from 5 deliveries faced. Orla Prendergast back on, having bowled 2 deliveries, and starts with 1 down the leg side.
And this season, Prendergast has been able to bowl a little bit more in the Super Series and in domestic cricket. We've seen previous seasons she's suffered with injury and has had to play as a batter and have her overs tailored. So great to see her today in full flight.
That's beautifully bowled. Great runner from him as well today. Prendergast showing an all-round game.
Yeah, it's universally known. Well, it's known in Irish cricket that you've got to be very careful running to Prendergast, and it hasn't taken Zimbabwe long to figure it out as well.
Could be very wary of that. She'll be batting number 3 for Ireland as well, with Lewis and Hunter opening the batting when they come to bat. That's a good move by Lewis. Bring her on. See if she can get a wicket here. 2 dot balls, just curtailing the Zimbabwean innings here.
Definitely. How often do we see the tail end up contributing 30 quick runs and putting their team in a winning position? So good move bringing on Prendergast.
The variation she brings to her bowling, it just confuses batters at times, especially someone like Chipari, who's now gone past her highest total of 2 to 5 to work out Prendergast. Like she's batting outside her crease as well, just to cut down the gap between that and the delivery, because Amy Hunter is back, not standing up to the stumps. It's in the air. There's a fielder down there. Oh, it's going to drop short of Stokel, and she lets it get behind her. There's a dodgy old bounce, so they run through for 2, but it was in the air a long time.
The famous spin down here off the ground in Pembroke. Thing about Prendergast bowling to Chipari here is that whenever Prendergast hasn't bowled a slower ball and she's really tried to get through her action, she's really hurried Chipari. So batting out of a crease might not be the best option if that ball that gets through is a little bit too quick for her. Surprising her getting her back in her crease.
There's 1 for the over, is it? Yep, 1 for the over. Dug that one in.
It's a great ball, isn't it?
It is. Chipari couldn't get anything on that. You get that signal from Kim Cotton. Looked over at Mark Hawthorne, see if there was a legal delivery all right. Delivery all right, and that finger in the air, 1 for the over. It's the final ball of the 17th. And a swing and a miss. Nice way to end that over. Good one from Prendergast. Just a 3 from it. 17 down, 105 for 6.
And it's been great to see, especially in recent years, how the short ball has been implemented more and more in women's cricket. It's such an advantage as a bowler when the batter can't get too comfortable going forward and doesn't know when one's going to come through at their head. And we've seen it all the time in the men's game, and now women are starting to bowl it more and more, getting more confident with it, getting stronger.
Murray's going to finish her spell now. 2 for 16. 6 from the last over, but finished it with 3 dots. Given plenty of air. Oh, it's a good stop.
Guess who again?
You know it. Orla Prendergast just around the corner there. Good stop. Got her body behind it, and let the ball gets behind her. Dot ball's important now towards the end of the innings. Zimbabwe trying to get something for Ireland to have a go at. Singles not really what they want now. Dot ball's no good, obviously, but singles not really what they want. They want boundaries. Tirapana wanted 36. Chipari on 7. Murray into her last over. Good figures there. 2 for 17 so far. 4 to come on this over. To the right-hander. Pumps that into the mid-wicket area, and it's gone through the fielder. Now, this is probably something we were talking about at the start of the game. Louise Little didn't quite get to the pitch of that originally, and unnecessary second run there given to Zimbabwe.
That's it. She is known for her boundary fielding. She's very quick, Louise Little, and sometimes you can be guilty of trying to approach the ball too quickly.
That's well bowled. Saw her coming. Chipari.
Great to see from Gabby Lewis continuing the informed Cara Murray here. Sometimes it's easy to take the leg spinner off with the thought that when batters are attacking they could be expensive, but Murray has had the backing of her captain, and the ball is in the air.
Oh, what a catch.
Lara McBride.
Yeah, what a catch that was. She got underneath the ball. It was coming in behind her, and somehow the 19-year-old stuck out one hand, and it stuck. Murray gets her third wicket, but she's going to have to go down there and give her a big high five. That was some catch to get rid of Chipari for 9.
Wow, very memorable one for Lara McBride. You thought she'd completely run past it. And as we can see here, very well bowled by Murray. Top edge, it's gone extremely high. McBride is backtracking.
She's lost the flight a bit there, but my word, how she recovered. That's incredible. That is a high-class quality catch. One-handed, going basically backwards.
It just goes to show that she's a real athlete, isn't she, McBride? First game for Ireland, no fear at all.
Mabero is in. 22-year-old for her 18th international. She too has not scored many runs, just 4. Or not as a bowler, so they're into the tail here. Ireland are getting through these wickets pretty quickly. That's the end of Murray's spell. Very good one too. 3 wickets to her. End of 18, 108 for 7. Prendergast to bowl her last over as well. The captain is still there. Tiripano has carnage at the other end. Here's the bowling figures.
And Prendergast, with a great economy of 5.6, has bowled her 3. She's to finish off here. She's 1 for 17. Other highlights being Cara Murray, as John mentioned, 3 for 19 off her 4. And Lara McBride, the debutante, 1 for 20 off her 3. She'd be delighted with that.
Probably Maguire to bowl the last over, do you think?
Could be, unless they go Arlene Kelly,
yeah,
who they tend to call on as well.
I was surprised the batter at the far end. It really reared up at her, didn't it? It's a very green wicket out there. You mentioned that earlier on.
Yeah.
And Prendergast seemed to get a lot of speed off that delivery coming over the wicket.
That's it. It looks like it's holding up nicely for the spinners, but there's certainly a bit of pace in it for seamers who are hitting the pitch hard.
That's clipped away. That'll be a welcome boundary, excuse me, for Zimbabwe. Nicely placed. Seems to have a lot of time at times, Tiripano. And that one, she just opened it up and just guided it down to that vacant area for 4 very welcome runs, and she moves to 40.
She was just looking for a bit of width there and was able to throw her hands through it. It looks far too easy.
She's in good nick. Tiripano, the 33-year-old Zimbabwean captain, facing Prendergast again. This one paddled around the corner. There is a fielder down at fine, so just a single.
Mabera to see what she can do to Prendergast. One of Ireland's hardest to play bowler.
Wicket is falling at the wrong time for Zimbabwe. Prendergast now 3 deliveries to go in this, her final over. 1 for 22 so far, and also got a run out. Noreen Suma gone for 6. What a throw it was. Throwing down the stumps. This lift and pace as well.
And that is a tough ball to face as someone coming in the lower order, especially when you know that next ball could be a slower ball, could be even shorter.
Oh, one thing about that last delivery, you could saw Amy Hunter. I know she's small, but she was right up, nearly at her shoulders, taking that.
It's good carry.
Good carry is right. So it looks like Ireland's decision to bowl is paying dividends so far. At least a single down there. A slight misfield, but they won't chance the second. Just the one boundary from this over so far, so one more. And this the penultimate over of the Zimbabwean innings. First match of 3 in this series before we move to Stormont and Belfast for 2 one-day internationals against Zimbabwe and 3 T20s against Pakistan. Nicely weighted on that, just paddled it round the corner. Tiripano, and the most important thing is she keeps the strike for the last over then, so she's on to 42 and the score 115 for 7. We've 19 overs completed.
So Arlene Kelly to bowl the final over. There she is. And Tiripano, as we can see, has been the backbone of this innings with 42 of 49. Perhaps a little slower than she would have liked. She was supported early on by Nglovu, who was 20 of 24. And since then, they've just been regular wickets. Every time someone gets going, Ireland have found a way to break the partnership.
And just 3 of those batters into double figures. Here's the bowling figure. So Har Prendergast has finished her spell, 4 overs, 1 for 24. Murray, really good for those 4 overs, 3 for 19. And McBride on debut, 1 for 20 off her 3. And bowled. Another wicket falls, and the captain, it was a brave knock, gone for 42. And Kelly gets a wicket in the first ball of her 3rd over, the final over, and trying to get on with it, get a few extra runs on the board. Perishes with a score on 115 for 8 now.
That's the beauty of Arlene Kelly and how she bowls. The stumps are always in play. She really puts the challenge to the batter that if they want to try and attack the ball off the stumps and they miss, she will hit, as she did in this instance. Tiripano there trying to really get a bit of a move on in the last over. You can see here Kelly has landed the ball directly on Midland leg, and the sweep has not gone her way. Ball is kept a little bit low, and that's the end of Tiripano's innings.
Looks like she rolled the fingers over that ball and just got at a bit of move away from the batter, and I think that's what's surprised her. And it's Kudzai Chikora who's come to the crease now. The 18-year-old in only her 7th T20 international debut. Like a few of these batters for Zimbabwe, was against Ireland last year in Harare. A game which Ireland won by 10 wickets.
Not the slower ball there from Kelly, which in the last over of the game she'll tend to bowl 6 out of 6, all different varieties. Brave shot, first ball there from Shigora, straight down the ground. Just not enough power to be anything more than a single.
They want to get past 120. Won't do it like that. But these are lower order batters. And the pressure's on. 3 deliveries to come here. Wicket off the first ball. Single and a dot. Chigora on 1. Mabera on 1 as well. Run rate's now gone below 6 and over. Ireland will be very happy with that. Zimbabwe won't. It's in the air. It's going to fall short of those 2 fielders down there. Then we're going to come back for the second, and the batter at the wicketkeeper's end. Thought it was going to be stranded there, but that was some arm.
It's brilliant fielding from Louise Little. That's what she's known for. She's very quick to the ball, really quick release in the throw, and yeah, has great power in that throw too.
Yeah, it was the quick release, wasn't it, that prevented them from running through for the second. Down the track. Ooh, there was a chance of a stumping, but Hunter's dropped the ball. Still, it's a dot.
And well bowled again by Kelly. Hunter will be disappointed with that. She's very sharp with the gloves.
She was just 16 when she started playing for Ireland. Amy Hunter is only 19 years of age. Seems like she's been around forever. That was a chance. This one is taken. Yep, and that's the last ball of the 20 overs. And it's a wicket, and it's a stumping. And Kelly gets her second wicket. So 117 for 9. Remember, Ireland won the toss. They put Zimbabwe into bat on a cloudy afternoon here at Pembroke Cricket Club in Sandymount. And Ireland will be well pleased with their day's work. They'll be chasing 118 for victory. And this is how the final wicket fell.
It was very similar to the previous ball, almost a carbon copy. Hunter's chance of redemption. And she's taken it very cleanly. She doesn't miss twice. And that gives Arlene Kelly a wicket to her tally. Well-deserved wicket for her today. And the Zimbabwe batting, as we said, Tirapano has kind of been the backbone, the biggest contributor with 42 off 50. Nklovu, 20 off 24, looked promising early. And Beezer came in looking very positive with her 11 from 9. But other than the three of them, regular wickets fell. And with the partnerships, as you can see, Nklovu and Tirapano together put on 37, and Tirapano and Beezer put on 20. And the only other real contributing partnership was Tirapano and Chipare for 21. But other than that, wickets fell regularly.
These are the bowling figures. They're good ones for Ireland. McBride on debut, 1 for 20 from her 3. Murray, 4 overs from her, 3 for 19. But contributions all around, and Kelly getting the last wicket to fall there, 3 overs, 2 for 10. So Ireland's run chase is coming up in about 15 minutes' time. They need 118 for victory to win this first T20 international against Zimbabwe.
Seconds, degrees, millimeters. The smallest margin can make the biggest difference. At CERTA, we're committed to finding every efficiency.
Wicket. It's cricket for girls aged 12 to 15. It's Wicket. Try out batting, bowling and scoring runs. Try it out with your friends. You'll love it. It's Wicket. Find out more and register now.
I like trying new sports. I like smashing the ball. We got a t-shirt, a bag, a bat and a ball. It's really, really fun to play with your friends, have fun and also get to learn new things.
Well, at this mid-innings break, we've a very special guest. Sue Bray got to ring the bell a little bit earlier. It's a lovely moment for any former cricketer or anyone who's had a big say in women's cricket or men's cricket to get their opportunity to ring the Roy Tarrans bell. And I'm sure she loved doing it in front of a pretty good crowd here in Pembroke as well. Yeah, so I mean, I've done it myself as well, Sue, and really enjoyed the moment, and actually managed to nearly knock the bell over. But it's a lovely moment as well. Roy Tarrans was such a big figure in Irish cricket, so for him to be noted by having his own bell, it's really, really good. So tell me, when you found out you were going to ring the bell, what were your first thoughts?
I was thrilled. I got the email from Richard and I was just totally honoured to be asked. I mean, you think you've played so long ago and you don't matter anymore, but it is such an honour to be asked. I was thrilled, and just the excitement even of today, and I was actually worried it was going to be cancelled because of the rain, so I was delighted that at least we got through it, and very pleased. It was a wonderful moment. Yeah.
And just looking back on your career, you made your debut in 1987.
Yeah.
Played your last game in 1996.
Yeah.
You didn't bat in that game. Were you injured in that final game?
Yeah, and look, it's the reason you never feel happy that you've had to retire because with an injury. I literally couldn't walk by the end of the games. I knew I'd played games during the week because we were allowed to in those days, and I was playing for the men's seconds, and I knew I'd hurt my hamstring, and I tried to get physio on it, and I bowled a couple of balls, and I knew that was it. I just said to Miriam, I'm gone. And at the end, when it was a 3-day game against New Zealand, starting in Clontarf, and then we were going over to Trinity and playing in Carlisle grounds as it was at the time, and I knew that was going to be the end. And when Miriam presented me with my retirement award, I thought I'd fire it up against a wall, because I was just so gutted that I've actually made that decision.
Yeah.
It's just not a nice way to finish up.
And it was the injury that made you finish, or you decided?
No, totally the injury. My back, everything was. I was literally being rebuilt before every game.
Okay.
Every known thing you could rub on yourself, I was using it just to keep myself going. But look, I knew it was coming to the end of the rope.
Yeah.
I'd been bowling for so long. I was so lucky. I did have a lot of back injuries, and I knew that it was my time.
Well, you were a fast bowler, and I'm sure you still are at heart. You must really enjoy watching Orla Prendergast.
I love it. It's the most beautiful action. Just her whole technique. I did not have a beautiful action. In fact, I didn't even recognise myself bowling when we were filmed once and up in Dundonald, and I was going, who's that bowling? And they said it was me, and I was totally self-conscious then because I bowled off the wrong foot.
Okay.
Totally wrong action, but I said it worked. And I had a very quick shoulder, and it was absolutely amazing to see Orla now. She really has the most beautiful action.
And I suppose when you look at the team there and all the staff around them and all the work that goes into making them, you wonder what it would have been like if you'd had those kinds of things in your day.
The jealousy, and look, you'll know it as well. We paid to play for our country. We bought everything ourselves, and just to have half of what the girls have would have been just amazing. I am totally jealous. I don't mind saying it. I would love to be out there playing now and warming up. I do get real envy when I come to these games, but I wouldn't miss them. And I'm still involved in Clontarf and coaching, and it's just I can't get rid of it.
A good envy, I suppose, because you would have been at the forefront back in 1986, and pushing for women's cricket in general. I suppose the men weren't professional then either.
No.
But you're happy to have had a say and a part in this story.
Amazing. We got trips. There was 2 World Cups. There was quadrangular tournaments. We really did. We didn't have to qualify for anything. We were able to play. But I mean, we played against the best in the world at the time, and it was fantastic for us. It was fantastic honour, but it has also improved our game tremendously. And for us to say we're at the beginning, and to see what's available now, and to see the young kids that are coming down and can see what these girls and what your life could be like now, being a professional cricketer, is just incredible. I'm really proud of what we achieved with nothing.
Yeah. No, you're so right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was
Delighted.
lovely to hear about your career. And I suppose after that, it's back to John Kenny in the commentary position.
Thank you, Isabel. And thanks to Susan O'Neill as well. That bell, Roy Tarrans' bell, a memory of the former Irish player and men's team manager, a man I knew well down the years. Going to introduce him really for the first time when He was manager of the Irish men's team in that never to be forgotten 2007 series in Pakistan, against beating Pakistan, of course, in the World Cup in 2007, when Ireland qualified for the Men's World Cup for the very first time. So that bell is in memory of him. So, we're back to the day's play. And Zimbabwe, having lost the toss, were put into bat today, and they made 117 for 9. And Ireland's reply is coming up shortly. It'll be Gabby Lewis and Amy Hunter to open the batting for Ireland. Here's they come to the centre. On your right-hand side is Lewis, the Irish captain. 24 years of age now. This is our 95th T20 international, the Irish captain. And Amy Hunter, we could keep a batter, in her 44th. She's 5 runs shy of 1,000 in T20 international cricket, is Amy Hunter. So 118 required for victory in the first of 3 games in this T20 series. And Isabella's hot-footed from that interview with Susan to join me in the commentary box. Ireland will be confident of knocking these runs off and extending this winning sequence against Zimbabwe. They've played them 7 times and haven't lost in the T20 with the cricket.
Yeah, it was a good performance with the ball in hand, and I think actually they'll be aiming in the second game and the third game to, if they do bowl first, they'll be aiming to keep Zimbabwe to even lower. I think they'll feel like they could bowl better than they did today. They'll probably work out batters pretty quickly and try and get them out for less. So we might see Ireland, depending on how the weather goes, might see Ireland, if they win the toss, actually batting first.
It's going to be the 18-year-old Kudzai Chigora to open the bowling for Zimbabwe. Amy Hunter facing. That's gone down the leg side, and Ireland now just need 1 less. Chigora immediately giving 1 extra to the Irish reply, needing 118 for victory here. Umpires Kim Cotton at this near end, you can see in the background there, and Mark Hawthorne standing at square leg.
It looks to bowl quick. That's the aim for Chigora. You can see from her follow through, she's looking to get it down there as quick as she can. And that's quickly going to the boundary. Absolutely crunched by Amy Hunter. Short there to be hit, and she duly obliged.
Well, we saw the Zimbabwean captain, didn't we, Tiripano, kind of just trying to work the ball around the ground, but this is the most crisp shot of the day. She really got on top of that, and you could hear the crack of the bat as it sped away with that shot and down to the boundary ropes. It really was a terrific shot.
Yeah, it's going to be a very different looking batting innings here, because Ireland will look to hit the ball hard. They'll look to go for boundaries, especially in the power play. Nice little bit of extra bounce from Amy Hunter, and lots of fielders keen to get in for that one.
Lewis took off as well, thinking about perhaps a quick single, but was sent quickly back by Hunter. Hunter facing first. Is that a little bit of a surprise? I thought Lewis would be the one to.
I think she generally is number 2,
yeah.
Lewis. What I was wondering was whether Rebecca Stokel would be elevated to the opening spot, but it looks like she'll probably be down at number 6. So it's going to be Prendergast. This one, they're going to just do a little concussion check. That lifted prodigiously, I think probably hit the ridge, the famed ridge here in Pembroke. We didn't really see Ireland make use of it. That's generally why the Seamers bowl from this end, the St. John's end. So there's a little ridge that if you hit it, it gets the ball to just rise a bit more steeply.
That's the first time we really get to see the face of Amy Hunter, because she obviously was wearing the helmet while she was keeping. But it obviously hit the metal at the front, and that's what she was saying. And just a quick check to see if that's okay. If there's a problem with it, or they think there's a crack in it, they will change the helmet. But it did surprise her, all right, but no harm done.
No, yeah, a good comeback from Chigora, who wasn't put off bowling a little bit short by the shot from the previous ball.
She's not the tallest Hunter, of course, as well, so it's going to get up quicker on her than it would on Lewis.
Yeah, we're not going to mix them up, that's for sure.
One slip in place. There's a fielder down there, so just a single.
I'm really interested to see the fielding from Zimbabwe. It's very hard to tell from warm-ups how good a fielding group is. Ireland looked really sharp in their warm-ups.
Modesta Mupachikwa is the wicket keeper for Zimbabwe today. One slip in place, but she's a little wideish, so probably in second slip, maybe even as far as wide as third for Chigura.
Yeah, I call that guessing slip. When you're just, you're kind of, where will I land myself in between first and third? Probably 2.5, I'd say. I'm not sure that it's not looked so far like there'll be an opportunity there, but not any movement away from Chigura.
Now, for those who don't know, you'll see that sign at the bottom of the screen, or that lettering. That's cracked away by Lewis. There's nobody down there. Got on top of that nicely. Second boundary of the over. Ireland moving on quickly to 11 without loss.
Dismissive from Gabby Lewis. A lot taller. Plays this pretty much on the front foot. Sees the length. And don't bowl that, is what she's saying there. Second boundary in the over. First to off Gabby Lewis's bat. She's been itching to get back underway in Irish colours, and I think she's relishing this opportunity.
Talk about that at the end of the over then, Wasp, what it is. We can tell you about that in a second. So it's Lewis facing once again. They're going to try and plug that gap down. They've sent a fielder down to the mid-wicket boundary.
Yeah, third up in the ring now. So Square and Fine are the two fielders out. Can't afford to be wide outside the off stump now.
Dispensed with the slip as well. It's better. Much better forward defensive shot from Lewis.
I think she might have just been thinking about the short ball there, Lewis, because it was pretty full. She'd usually play through that kind of delivery, look to drive it through the offside, but maybe, and you forgive her for sweating on the short ball considering the previous few.
Hunter nonchalantly leaning on her bat at the non-striker's end.
Oh.
I could feel it. She really did not a lot of leg movement, just kind of wafted the bat at it. And they finally got through that over. An expensive one, 11 from it. Ireland at the end of the first over, 11 without loss. Target 118. Well ahead of the rate now, obviously, after that first over. Good chat between the two of these.
Yeah, just 118 for victory required.
Well, you'll see at the end of the bottom of the screen there when that pops off, Wasp at 98%. We saw it last time. That means that Ireland are in that position to win, and it's 98% certain that they will do so. Is that how we could look at that?
Yeah, and you know what? We had a game in the Interpros 2 weeks ago, last week. The time's standing still a little bit. I think it was last week, and it was 98% in favour of the Northern Knights. They managed to lose, so it has happened.
It's not exact science, all right. Makusha is on. Tendai Makusha. On debut as well for her, we had Lara McBride for Ireland today, who's had a very good debut so far. And now it's the right arm medium bowling of Makusha from the far end.
Oh, a little bit of movement away, and is this a wide? It is. Now, I want to ask you, have you ever seen a medium pace bowler bowl with sunglasses like that?
I didn't actually recognise that.
I reckon there's probably lenses that make it
I was watching
like
Ricky Fowler yesterday at the golf at the Open, and he was wearing glasses all the way through the ground as well. But I've never seen a cricketer bowl with dark glasses on.
Well, I've seen them bowl with glasses on, but usually like sports glasses.
Yeah.
That looks to me like they're the
lenses,
prescription
yeah.
prescription glasses.
One more to Hunter, takes her to 6. And the Wasp very much in Ireland's favour at the moment. She's got a good pace. Makusha then from the Wilfield Road end. I'd say she's on debut, so I haven't seen her before.
No, it looks like both opening bowlers really looking to hit the pitch. And she started on probably a better length than we saw from the other end. Changing the field. Third comes up, and they're going to go with the square leg back as well. So same field for Makusha as we saw for Chigora. And I was wondering how they're going to field. They look very energetic. And Chiedza Dururu running in, but the fielders in point and extra cover running around to back her up. So it's obviously been something they've spoken about.
Kept low. And wicketkeeper take that around her toes. Lewis survives.
Yeah, swing and a miss. Just looking ever so slightly nervous, Gabby Lewis. Sometimes you're waiting for something so long, you can just work yourself up a little bit.
That's going to go to the boundary for 4, despite the diving catch, or attempt at the dive. Ireland will take that. Lewis will take it, certainly.
It's a really odd shot from Gabby Lewis, just kind of sliced wide of mid-off. I think she just held back. She realised that she wasn't quite there and went for placement rather than power. So finishes what was a really good over with a boundary. Just the 6 from it. 2 gone. Ireland 17 without loss.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad over. It's just that errant delivery in the last ball of the over, which Lewis got on top of. But Ireland are going along with a good rate here. They're going to change the bowling as well, with the target 118. Chipari is coming on to bowl. Scored 9 in the Zimbabwean innings towards the end of the innings. Francesca Chibari, the 26-year-old, in her 17th T20 international. She's taken 8 wickets, best of 2 for 18. Right arm medium, Chibari. Give her the big build-up, and she decides to run through.
Something not quite right in the delivery stride, or maybe the run-up. You know, she just looks like she didn't feel comfortable when she landed. She's not the first bowler that's looked uncomfortable at this end. Orla Prendergast, Leopold padded up in the background there.
Very slingy kind of action, all right, from Chipari. Remind you of anyone?
It's really difficult to control that type of action and
Yeah.
get it to go straight. But of course, Lasith Malinga, the most famous exponent of it.
Slinger Malinga. Perfectly legal action, though.
Yep. We just have to be above the horizontal.
Good enthusiastic fielding as well from Zimbabwe out there. A couple of boundaries, Hunter and Lewis. But outside of that, a couple of dot balls in this over, but Zimbabwe look bouncy and up for the fight in the field, although Ireland have obviously got off to a very good start. Only in the third over, and they're 17 without loss already.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a case, though, as well, where Ireland maybe don't know these bowlers as well as they probably would have in the past. A lot of unknown quantities. Square leg goes out again. Oh, in this field, and they'll come through for a single.
Every time I compliment somebody about their fielding, somebody lets the ball go underneath them.
It was definitely a case of looking up just as you're about to pick up the ball, because she had that covered, no problem. Linda Kula Mabero.
And that's what you need to do. You're right. You need to get the ball into the hand first and then make that split-second decision. Don't be making the decision before the ball has even reached you. I know it's easy to say up here, but you really have to concentrate on getting the ball into the hand first. Orla Prendergast was a perfect example of that when she did her run out spectacularly to get rid of Dururu. Picking the ball up first and before shying it at the stumps. It was a classic piece of fielding.
Well, I think as well, Ireland's team have played a lot of domestic cricket recently, so it looks like maybe just with that kind of miss, it's often when you've just come off a plane. Yes, you can do your warm-ups, but nothing's like the pressure that's on when you're actually playing the game. So it's just getting used to that again. Get the ball in the hands first, then where am I going to throw it? One thing at a time.
And that previous ball was going speeding to the boundary. It was a very good piece of fielding because it just reared up in the fielder there. But this one will certainly go to the boundary. Dissects those two fielders back with a square and all the way to the boundary. And it just ruined her figures. Chipari had bowled really well, just conceding the one run up to that point. But 22 with that loss now after 3.
A second over in a row, they've conceded a boundary in the final delivery of an over. Short, wide, not where Lewis meant it to go, I don't think. Just maybe on her a little bit quicker than she expected, but found the gap. And the tall player manages to get it through the gap. So 3 overs gone. Ireland looking good, 22 without loss.
First of 3 games in this series. Tuesday and Wednesday back at Pembroke. Day's rest tomorrow, and then we'll move to Stormont for 2 ODIs, Saturday and Monday, and Ireland will then host Pakistan for 3 T20s. Makusha on for her second over, conceded 6 in the first, wearing those shades, even though it's not a sunny day here. Obviously we're thinking there's a prescription. It's still cloudy, but the clouds look non-threatening. Let's hope you can see us right through. There's a bit of rain in the air a little later on. There's an appeal for a caught behind from some of the fielders out there, but got safely through to the wicketkeeper, and Hunter survives.
Well, I think it was more an excited shout than an appeal, but Hunter going on the back foot there, I reckon not quite the length to do it.
That's much more like it. Hunter's a great exponent of that. Did get to commentate on some of that Evoke Super Series T20 games, and then watching her opening the face of the bat, she's really good, really confident with that shot.
Yeah, it's the way she gets off strike is just to guide it down to third, and then if it's straight, she'll tuck it into the leg side. They do have a fielder in square, so that option's somewhat taken away.
An appeal by the bowler. Must have heard a noise, or she's the right to appeal, but it certainly beat Lewis. All ends up there.
I think it might be because this just nipped away a little bit. She thought maybe it'd taken the edge. Have a look when it pitches. It just goes away, leaves Lewis. She's late on the ball, though. I think both batters just finding it difficult to choose whether to come forward or go back. That's a good sign for Zimbabwe that they're finding the right length on this surface.
And as a result, they put the slip in. Right call, I think.
Yeah, they need to take wickets. There's no point in seeing one go through slips.
Lewis behind that one. Another dot ball. Very good over so far from Makusha. But they have conceded the boundary in the last ball of their last couple of overs, and they don't want to do that. Ireland in a good position at 23 with that loss, although a couple of questions being asked of these two, and Lewis in particular. You think she looked a little nervy out there. Not a lot of foot movement so far from her. A couple of times she's wafted the bat of the ball and nearly perished. It's an appeal for LB, and they're going to run through for the quick single. Lewis will keep the strike, move the score on to 24 at the end of 4. Ireland, having won the toss, put Zimbabwe into bat. They made 117, so Ireland requiring 118 for victory, in a good position.
Yeah, in a good position, but I think that Zimbabwe are really growing into this, the way that they're bowling. They haven't dropped the heads at all. It doesn't matter how low the total is, it can be nervous. Those kind of middling scores sometimes more difficult than a par score to chase. And yeah, I've been pretty impressed by Zimbabwe. I think first over maybe could have been a little bit tighter. That was Chigora. But since that, I've been pretty impressed. It's Francisca Chipari again.
With the slinging action, that's high in the air and that's pumped down the ground. It's got to go all the way for 4. It's a lovely shot from Lewis. Couple of steps down the track, pumped it over the bowler's head for a fine boundary from Lewis. That's more like it.
Yeah, clever thinking, because the skiddy action means you can trust it's not going to bounce too high. Takes it on straight and trusts her hands. Doesn't try and overhit it, just a little punch down the ground and one bounce over the rope.
That'll make her feel better.
A little slower ball. Didn't really come out the way she planned, but had the effect of getting Lewis through the shot early. Those are the kinds of things that everyone on the sideline for the Irish team and Gabby Lewis, they'll just be checking that in their mind. Right, she's got this slower ball. I've got that in my head now.
That's definitely a wide, that one. I mean, 2 wides, really. That was very wide.
It wasn't quite the no ball off the pitch, but yeah, it wasn't far away either. Modesta Mupachikwa just running off. She's going to get her helmet. I think she'll look to stand up, try and keep Gabby Lewis in her crease. There's a big difference in height between the batter and the keeper there.
Well, Amy Hunter has now gone past 1,000 runs in T20 internationals. Highest score of 101 not out.
Yeah, against this opposition.
Ranked 14th in the world, Zimbabwe, Ireland at 10. As far as I can remember.
9, I think.
9.
Yeah, Ireland at 9.
9.
I know. I think it's
getting her action all wrong. That's twice that's happened now.
Yeah, that one was definitely supposed to be the slower ball, so just threw it a little bit too early. But yeah, Zimbabwe down at 14. Ireland have just jumped ahead of Bangladesh in the rankings. I think that's because of beating them 3-0 last year in Bangladesh. That WASP has moved to 99% now. Does it ever go to 100?
I have no idea.
I think it only goes to 100 when you've actually won the game.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, well. But it's supposed to predict if, it can't be 100% if it's only predicting.
Yeah, it can't be, because there's always a chance, no matter what.
Exactly.
You could always take all 10 wickets in the last 2 overs. So 30 without loss, and that run rate up at 6.4. They only need below 6 and over. They won't be happy with that, Ireland. They'll want to knock it off much sooner than the 20th.
Yeah, Lewis 16 off 17 deliveries, and Hunter 8 off 11. So Zimbabwe will be happy enough the way they've bowled, although Chipari looks a little wild in this over. That's well bowled. Lewis tries to cut that. Surprised her a little bit.
That's the right length for Chipari right there, and it is useful for her having Mupachikwa up to the stumps. Mupachikwa will be hoping that she won't get any more of those wild wides, because it'll be difficult to stop them. What you don't want is 5 wides.
Very well bowled. Another dot ball to finish that over. So 5 down, and Ireland chasing 118 for victory, or 30 without loss. Hunter on 8, Lewis on 16.
Yeah, nice even run rate. Yeah, and they're not far off where Zimbabwe were. The difference was that Zimbabwe kept on losing wickets. Ireland haven't lost one yet. Lots of support for Zimbabwe over near the railway line. Singing and dancing. It's just getting a little chillier here in Pembroke Cricket Club. Well, it looks pretty safe in terms of the rain.
Fingers crossed.
Linda Kula Mabero, the off spinner with ball in hand from the Willfield Road end.
Tries to catch it, it's going to fall short. Hunter goes through for a single. Mabero, 22 years of age, in her 18th T20 international. Best of 2 for 19. Again, one of those players who made the debut for Zimbabwe in the international scene against Ireland in Harare last year. Loud appeal from the bowler, but I think they're probably going down the leg side.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell from behind, isn't it? But everything about that looked like it was shaping down leg. Good start this, though, from Mabera.
Yeah, I'm just getting a little bogged down now. Run rate's down towards 5.5. The run rate required has just gone up to 6. And they started with a real blaze. They were 11 without loss and then 17 without loss for the first 2 overs. Lewis down the track she goes and cracks that away. And that's a welcome for the Irish captain and for Ireland themselves.
Great balance shown here from Gabby Lewis. I think she's kind of said, right, I've got to just get a hold of things here. Shuffles down and Mabero drops it short. You see the balance right on the top of the shot there. That's the key. She's not still moving as she meets the ball, and the little shuffle down the pitch just changes the length as well, so the fielder's not in the right position. Finds the gap between mid-off and extra cover.
That's going to be down the ground for 4. That's a freebie. That's a gift. Lewis won't miss out on that.
Tell you what, this isn't as easy as it looks. It's a low full toss, really, really low, but Gabby Lewis so good down the ground. She manages to catch it on the full just as it's dropping. Again down the pitch, the slower one. And there, just catches it, holds her shape long enough to lift it over the fielder's head. And there are plenty who'd just be boxing that back to the bowler.
Yeah, and I'll tell you about that in a second. His last ball of the over. And Lewis attempted to keep the strike, doesn't, so it's fine with the dot ball. So they're, 39 for loss, no loss after 6. Yes, the way she held her shape, wasn't it? It was the most important thing about that. You could open the face or whatever. She held the shot open over the bowler's head. It was a really nice shot from Lewis.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. So power play is over, and a little flurry at the end there from Gabby Lewis, helping Ireland to 39 without loss after 6. Probably a little bit below where they would have wanted to be, but they just require a further 79 from the remaining 14 overs and yet to lose a wicket. So that's something that Zimbabwe will be looking to put right as soon as possible. Put right, I mean, in terms of for them. And John Kenny off for a break. It's Celeste Rack back alongside as opening bowler Kudzai Chigora back into the attack. How have you seen it so far?
I've found the bowling and the fielding quite impressive here from Zimbabwe. There's been a huge effort in the field, great buzz around, even not scoring as many runs as they would have liked. They wanted 140 or more. They've definitely put in every effort here to cut off every possible run.
Full toss won't help, but doesn't manage to beat the fielder. Amy Hunter's kind of been watching along for the last couple of overs as Gabby Lewis has had exclusively the strike for about 2.5 overs now. Never nice as a batter.
Never nice. And these two have quite a challenge here because they both are really proactive. They love to be scoring quickly, and they have been stopped. They're definitely not scoring at the rate that they'd like and that they'd feel most comfortable. So it's, a credit to how Zimbabwe's bowlers have started.
Oh, and that's just lifted on Amy Hunter. That's the length where she can get herself into trouble because she's so good on the back foot that she sometimes goes back when she should maybe come forward.
I agree, and with the way Zimbabwe have bowled, especially the opening 2 bowlers, really trying to hit the pitch hard, these conditions suit them.
Yeah, you're right. So just every now and then they get that extra bit of bounce. That surprised Amy Hunter somewhat. So she's gone down the track. A wild swing. Mupachikwa settles underneath. Easy catch. First wicket down for Ireland. A good piece of bowling from Chigora. Something was bound to happen. 3 dots. Amy Hunter looked to take her on down the pitch, and then the pull shot didn't pay off. And Hunter, maybe not her best today. 9 from 16 for her. Just the 1 boundary. And Ireland lose their first. It's 39 for 1.
And that's well deserved there from Chigora. And as you alluded to, that back of a length ball to Amy Hunter can be quite effective. As you can see, she got bogged down. Ball was back of a length. Hunter has decided rather than sit back and hit it, she's going to come at the ball. And it was a good catch in the end from Mupachikwa. They're never easy, even though they should be when they're spinning, and the sky is quite white at the moment as well. And you can see Zimbabwe supporters are delighted.
Yeah, something to cheer about, and they're going to cheer. Love that. Gotta enjoy the good moments. And yeah, I was walking actually past them when Lara McBride took that one-handed catch, and they couldn't believe it. They could not, but they thought, okay, we're getting away with one here. No, she just plucked it from the sky. I just loved the response. They were smiling and laughing about it, saying what a brilliant piece of cricket. So out at number 3, Orla Prendergast. She's Ireland's kind of big name, one of the few, but probably standing tall at the moment in terms of her name across the world. But she can be a little bit of a nervy starter.
She can be, and I've always thought she is quite careful. She's still proactive, but she's careful early. She wouldn't give us the reverse sweep that we saw when a new bowler comes on, like we saw in the Zimbabwean innings. She takes high percentage chances, early.
Just chasing a wide one there. Kim Cotton deciding not to give that. It's been a brilliant over. A wicket maiden, if you don't mind, for the 7th from Chigora. Great comeback from her. 7 gone, Ireland 39 for 1.
So impressive after going for 11 off the first over with 2 boundaries to come back and take a wicket maiden in the 7th.
They look very confident, don't they? The Zimbabwe just fielding team as a unit. So no surprise that the captain wanted to bowl first.
Definitely. They don't look like a team that's 20 to 30 runs short of what they plan to score. They look like they're on top.
Yeah, the way they're moving around the field, they look excited. And I mean, why wouldn't you be? International cricket on tour for the first time for a bilateral series to Ireland. I think they were here before for the qualifiers back in 2013, but these two teams didn't play each other then. Mabera to continue.
Ireland have been fortunate enough to go to Harare a few times in the last 5 years, but it's great to see Zimbabwe getting a chance to tour Ireland.
Yeah.
A couple of games up north as well.
Down the pitch, there's a fielder down there, but she sends it straight of her. It'll just be the single. Good percentage cricket here from Gabby Lewis. She's decided to maybe put the sweep shot in the back pocket for the moment. For a bowler like Mabera, it's probably easier to play her down the ground.
That's what we'll expect from Orla Prendergast here, who does build her innings, never really looks like she's in a rush, even when she is.
Well, the field is all up on the offside, so she can't afford to give any width here, Mabera. Long off, long on. Mid-wicket and square, the 4 fielders out. It's different from the men's game. If you're used to watching men's cricket and you're having a look and wondering why only 4 fielders out, in the women's game we just like to make it a little bit harder by having 5 in the ring.
Back onto the five in the ring in women's cricket, it does make the game very tactical for a spinner.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got players like Orla Prendergast and Gabby Lewis who can hit really hard in 5 areas.
Big thick edge. That's not where that was meant to go, but she'll get a couple, I'm sure. Orla Prendergast will look to come back. So quick across the ground, gets back easily. She had a little, maybe guilty of moving at the tempo of the bowler there, rather than getting to the pitch quickly and being still on impact, still moving when the ball reached her.
Yeah, I think you're right. We don't see it often, Prendergast, and she usually gets in very good positions against spinners when she uses the feet.
And she's just been put off coming down after his last couple of deliveries. Good quick over there from Mabera, 3 from it. Zimbabwe getting back into this as a contest. Ireland 42 for 1. Run rate now just above 5, required is above 6, so not getting away from Ireland by any stretch, but a couple of quiet overs have really helped Zimbabwe just put a bit of pressure on these two. Ireland's captain and vice captain. Gabby Lewis, 13 50s to her name, 2 centuries. It's more like it. Cover is out on the boundary. And she may be just looking like she was a little bit leg side of the ball early on. Had a good few swings and misses outside the off stump.
which we find if Gabby Lewis doesn't move her feet, she can be guilty of being a little bit too far inside the ball. She's kind of lucky she's got such a long reach that she often will get away with that. But ball going away, pitch with a little bit in it.
Tricky. Does that clip the pad? I think Orla Prendergast doesn't look too perturbed at the fact that Kim Cotton's not given a wide, so presumably this did catch something on the way through.
Didn't really look like it's hit anything on the way through.
There might have been a sound that we're
There's
not privy
definitely
to.
a sound, yeah, definitely a sound, but we could be wrong.
Because the bouncer a little bit slow off the pitch, so Orla Prendergast probably doing the right thing, just having a look, and it's got a look of it of a kind of a sparring match, doesn't it? This batting innings a little bit. Ireland trying to learn about the Zimbabwe bowlers and trying to make sure they don't throw their wicket away when playing a shot against a ball they're not quite expecting. There's the foot movement, it flayed away wide of third. That's going to go all the way. Makes it look so easy. Orla Prendergast uses the pace, uses her feet as well, and that's her first boundary.
And this was the width that Prendergast is looking for early in her innings. Makes it look very easy for her. You can see here, Shigora's given a width far too much, and Prendergast was able to throw her hands at it.
The appreciation in the deep, so a little bit more muted than the Zimbabwe supporters. There's the full ball through, and that's the off-stump cartwheeling. Orla Prendergast just playing all around that one, right over the top. That's the perfect Yorker length. Chigora back into the attack. She's taken 2 wickets in 2 overs, and the big wicket. Orla Prendergast goes for 6 from 10 deliveries. Zimbabwe not out of this by any stretch. Ireland 47 for 2.
What a brilliant delivery from Chigora. It's a perfect Yorker to Prendergast. And some celebration as well. And as she should, it's a huge wicket. It's a great ball, and there's nothing better than sending the stump cartwheeling away.
Yeah, she just looked surprised, didn't she, Orla Prendergast? And I think Ireland maybe guilty a few times of expecting the short delivery and not being prepared for the full one.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Just late on that, and yeah, off-stump cartwheeling is exactly what any bowler, and you're more likely to get it if you're a fast bowler, obviously, but yeah, Leah Paul, 50th T20 international for her. She comes out at number 4, the only left-hander in the lineup for Ireland. And this is one of the things that Ireland have. They have their number 4 left-hander. They want her out there as much as possible so that they can just make things a bit more difficult for Zimbabwe. Cover third, fine and square, the 4 out. Starts with a full wide one, can't find the gap. Great over that again from Abera, just the 1 run and the wicket in it as well. Oh, sorry, there was more than 1 run, wasn't there? There was a boundary in the over, but successful over, 47 for 2 after 9.
And Leah Paul has made this number 4 spot her own in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Traditionally known as someone who succeeded more in 50-over cricket, longer format. She has reinvented herself, as we said earlier in the match, to be able to adapt and make this number 4 spot her own.
Yeah, very good against spin. Sweeps, reverse sweeps. She's added kind of, I mean, she's always played well down the ground, but a bit of power down the ground to her game in the last 12 to 18 months. But it's going to be Gabby Lewis on strike. Mabera continuing. There goes the sweep shot. Nice, strong sweep shot from Gabby Lewis. How early she's got onto that. Sent it really far forward of mid-wicket on the boundary. And that's the 50 up for Ireland.
And this is very well played here by Lewis. You can see quite full on the stumps. Lewis knows exactly where the field is, and she's managed to be able to hit really straight with power straight through.
Flighted this time, and Well, she meant to get that to go on the other side of the pitch, but gets the single down to long on. Nice to see Mabera not afraid to give the ball some air.
And that's it, firing it into the pitch when you put less than 120 on the board isn't going to get you what you need. So good positive bowling here.
Around the wicket. Leopold immediately going on the ramp. 45 is vacant. Lots of work to do at square. She won't come back for the second. I guess she's so innovative, isn't she, Leopold? Playing shots like that is like playing a drive for other people.
It is, it is. We witnessed the Leopold switch hit repeatedly a few weeks ago, which is one we'd love to see her bring out in this series.
Much quicker this time from Mabera. Gabby Lewis thinking about taking on the misfield. Leopold just added some sense to the equation. I just didn't get the hands through that at all. Not in a good position, Gabby Lewis, for that. Just the line. Maybe not what she was expecting.
Because there are runs, free runs out there if there's width. Cover up.
It's over mid off, but long off is out. So a little chip down the ground for one. Nice little battle building here between Mabera and Gabby Lewis. 7 runs from that over. Halfway through the overs in the reply. Ireland 54 for 2. And good to see that comparison, because Zimbabwe were doing better. They were 61 for 3. But I don't think Ireland will be too perturbed. They won't feel like the remaining runs they require is too many by any stretch. It's 114 they need from the final. 114, not quite. 64 required in the second 10, which is something they'll be pretty comfortable with. And I was just looking up to see where was Kellison Clovu, because she's their kind of trump card with ball in hand. Last game that she played in, she bowled 8 overs, 1 for 16 against USA. Left arm spin. She gets a lot of drift, can turn it a lot. So they've held her back for the second half, maybe looking to be in a position like this and get her to apply real pressure. A fine sweep from Gabby Lewis. Knew exactly where she wanted to send that. A boundary off the first against Zimbabwe's star bowler. Sometimes if you want to take a team down, you've got to take down their star. And maybe that's what Gabby Lewis is going to do.
And this is a very calculated way to do it as well. Big vacant space there. You can see that's been covered now. Good restraint from Lewis not to try and run down the pitch and hit straight.
4 outer, square, mid-wicket, long off and cover. So the gap is mid-on. She'll just take the single down the ground. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see now what Leopold does, because she does like to reverse sweep. What kind of field is Clovu going to have to the left-hander? Turning it back into her, obviously. She's going to have third in place, but there's a lot of space on the... Oh, they're going to have to move someone across. Yeah, just getting things organised. There's a lot of space on the leg side. Mid-on and 45 in the ring. Mid-on being sent back now, so its cover is in the ring. If she can get it through the offside, she'll get 4. Once you get it through the ring, you generally get it to go to the boundary, around or over the wicket for the left arm and out. And big thick edge. That was there to hit, wasn't it? Missed out.
It's exactly the ball that you had in mind when you were saying cover is up. The whole left side are up.
A big, wide, long half volley.
She'll want another one. She'll want a repeat.
Got to put it behind her. Full toss on leg stump this time. Just happy to punch it down the ground. Ireland really playing within themselves so far, and that's the problem with sometimes with these kinds of targets. 118, you're thinking, I don't want to get out in any kind of silly way. It's a no ball. What was that a no ball for? Were there too many outside the ring? Was it an overstepping?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they only had 4 out, so
yeah, I think it must be.
Could be an overstepping.
So chance for Gabby Lewis to make her pay down the wicket. And will this be the first 6 of the day? It's a big swipe. No, just one bounce. It's the longest one of the longer boundaries down there, but the free hit costly from Callison Clovu. Gabby Lewis adds another 4 to the tally.
We were talking about long pockets of the ground earlier. Gabby Lewis has chosen the longest one to hit this, but she's hit it extremely well. Callison Clovu, if it is an overstep no ball, sometimes that can get a little bit in the back of your mind as well as a bowler.
She's an unusual action, doesn't she?
She does.
She's quite front on. Someone just moving behind the bowler's arm here, I think. Try that again. Much quicker through the air on that occasion from Clovu. She wants to get out of this over. Already gone for 10. Or 11, I should say. The one coming off that no ball that she bowled. And another sweep shot, but there's a fielder there. They'll take her on. Good running from Leah Paul. Set off nice and quickly. She knew she was going to the danger end. So Callison Clovu's first over goes for 12 as Ireland look to just put the foot on the gas ever so slightly. 11 overs gone, 66 for 2. 52 from 54, so it's just below a run of ball required to get over the line this first game of this women's T20I and ODI series between Ireland and Zimbabwe. 5-match series, 3 T20s, 2 one-day internationals. Yeah, I think that was just the ground announcer, Ali McCalmont. He's announced Leah Paul 50th T20 international for her today. She'd love to be there at the end with her team getting over the line. Ribera to bowl her final. Much better footwork from Gabby Lewis, sending it towards the clubhouse. Lots of work to do in the deep for Clovu, and it just beats her to the boundary. Gabby Lewis really getting into her work now.
And out of nowhere, she snuck on to 46 off 38, and she's picked out extra cover there really well. Used her feet brilliantly and left Clovu too much work to do in the end to stop that going to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, really poor anticipation from her, it has to be said, in the deep. Lewis rocks onto the back foot. Yeah, I would nearly like to see that again. She wasn't ready at all in Clovu. It was like she was surprised the ball had been bowled. When the ball got hit to her left, she was in no position to get around and cut it off. I think if she watched that back, she'd be disappointed because she is one of their best fielders.
And that pocket of the ground is so important to cover because so many balls get hit into those bushes right in front of the clubhouse there.
It's like a cut-off, isn't it? That's the boundary where it's difficult to protect. Paul again ramping, gets it finer this time, so it'll be work to do. It'll be at least a couple, and she'll keep it to 2. Francisca Chapare. You cannot leave that gap open for Leah Paul. She will just hit you there all day. She doesn't mind getting boring. She'll just keep on doing it.
I agree with you. And I was just looking at mid-wicket there, short mid-wicket, wondering why short mid-wicket is still there.
I suppose it's a wicket-taking option for them. They want to get a catch in there. I don't know.
Yeah. You're right. Leah Paul will just keep doing the same thing, keep hitting that 2 if she gets the opportunity.
Well, she didn't there, though, did she?
No,
I
she
was
didn't.
wondering, would she get in position and just keep on going, but no.
Thought she was going to stand on off-stump wide line. Outside wide line.
There
Which she just
again.
did.
She doesn't get very much of this. She had to kind of push it up into the air, so she'll just get a single. And Mabara, she's bowled pretty well, bowled 1 over in the power play. She'd be disappointed not to get a wicket. It was looking like Gabby Lewis was struggling with her ever so slightly in the first couple of overs, but hasn't managed to make a breakthrough as of yet. They didn't set off quickly enough. Just about halfway through that run, Gabby Lewis thought, oh, maybe I'll come back for a second, but not to be. So a good couple of overs for Ireland, 9 from that one. And after 12, they're 75 for 2. After 10, they were 54 for 2. So they're really getting going. 21 added in the last couple of overs. And I think the closer they get to the target, the more they'll put the foot in the gas, actually, Ireland, because wickets in hand, they'll want to get this over and done with a few overs to spare, you'd imagine. However, Zimbabwe, a couple of wickets, you never know.
And it's kind of gone back and forth a bit. There'd been a few overs where there weren't many runs scored, and now the momentum seems to be in Ireland's direction. But that's definitely due to Gabby Lewis increasing her scoring rate there. Now 48 of 40, really started to put her foot on the gas.
Tendai Makusha, she's on debut today. She's bowled well. Switching ends down the pitch. Gabby Lewis eyeing up another half century. Now 13 50s to her name, 2 centuries. She won't get the opportunity to get the big milestone, but she's eyeing up the 50, 2 away. That little bit of extra bounce, that might be why they've switched ends for Makusha, because if you get the right lengths, you can just get the ball to rise. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Ireland didn't really make use of that ridge.
Now Makusha has heard of the famous Pembroke Ridge. She's going to want this end for the rest of the series.
Exactly. Spinners from the other end, thanks. Oh dear, Gabby Lewis nearly got herself into problems, but she got enough on it to take her to her 14th international half century. She's battled through a little bit, but it's become more fluent in the second half. 11 boundaries in that 52 from 43. That'll help you get to a half century. 11 fours, incredible stuff. And a little bit of innovation to take her over the milestone.
It really is incredible, 11 fours, and she put in the hard graft early on, so she's deserving of the rewards that have come since.
11 fours means she's scored 44 of her runs in boundaries.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, forget about this scoring off every delivery. Just score the boundaries. No, that's something that I know she'll want to put right, because she is someone who tends to like to score off every ball. The dot balls won't please her, but it's kind of been that day where if you get it through the field, it's 4. And she's going to get that through the field as well. Pushed into the leg side. There's lots of space out there. A little bit slow across the ground, but just about has the legs to go over the boundary again. And Ireland sensing they're within touching distance. They want to get there as quickly as they can. Bus to catch time for Gabby Lewis.
And she's played this well, Lewis. She's just lifted that there over the leg side into the vacant space. She's a tall player. She's got a long reach. She's very good at manufacturing boundaries off balls that other people might only push for one.
Yeah, good bottom hand, doesn't it? She was in position early and then just brought the bottom hand in at the right time to send it into mid-wicket. It's the Seagulls that are in danger today. Nice. Just drops the bat on that one to get a single. Clever batting, keeps the strike as well. 57 from 46 for Lewis, 9 from that over. And 13 gone. It's 84 for 2.
And 84 for 2 after 13. Isabel Joyce leaves us and John Kenny steps in. Gabby Lewis, 57 off 46. Leopold, 5 off 7.
Yeah, it's all going rather nicely for Ireland. Got bogged down a little bit, lost a couple of wickets. But Lewis now seems to be getting into her stride. 84 for 2. She's on 57, 14th T20 international 50 for the Irish captain. Leopold, a bit of a spectator at the other end, just 5. And Lewis is going about her job pretty well. As Isabel's been saying, Ireland would like to get through these remaining deliveries and rack up a win quite quickly. Lewis Steps across her stumps, whips it around the corner. Going to come back for the second here, and no need to. That's where the Zimbabwe supporters are away to our left-hand side. That fairly raced to the boundary. And Lewis, having been circumspect early on, now getting on with it.
And that's also been called a no ball as well. So double difficulties for the new bowler, Schumer. Lewis there stepped across the stumps well to allow her to access backward square, field it out at square leg and at mid wicket.
Yeah, so a free hit. Lewis would be, as you can see, looking to her left-hand side, eyeing up the boundaries. One or two changes in the field,
which you're not allowed to do, so that you can see here the umpire has intervened.
A little smile on his face, Mark Hawthorne, saying you cannot move the ball, the previous ball, the field has to be exactly the same. That's what Lewis was questioning as well, wasn't she?
And she's only right.
Yeah. You can't move. You cannot move out of your position for the free hit.
Sometimes fielders can be a bit cheeky and step back there, as you can see. Lewis is making sure that the mid-wicket fielder is in as they were.
Down the track she goes, no surprise. Pumps it over the head. Is that our first maximum of the day? Yes, it is. That's a nice way to deal with that. Free hits, so 5 from the previous delivery, 6 from that. It's been a good couple of deliveries for Ireland. They're getting very close to that total now, and Lewis is looking very good now.
And that is a great shot. She's used her feet to great effect. Hit a good length ball. 2 steps and straight over everyone's head for 6. And this is, unfortunately for Suma, the most difficult start to a bowling spell you can have. No ball, boundary, and then a 6 on the free hit.
And the second of the Zimbabwean bowlers wearing shades as they bowl, and she's gone. Lewis, down the track she went, but she's been stumped. But that's a very good knock from Gabby Lewis. And the bowler, a little bit of revenge there, having conceded those, 11 runs from those first 2 deliveries, gets Gabby Lewis, and the third Irish wicket falls with a score at 95. Lewis departs for a well-made 67 from 49 deliveries.
And this is quite well bowled from Suma, sending the ball through a bit quicker and a bit flatter. Outside off stump, making Lewis reach. She went down line of leg stump, so she had a lot of reaching to do. And Modesta Mupachikwa, the wicketkeeper, has taken that well.
Laura Delaney, former Irish captain, in at number 5. Very experienced player, 32 years of age now. This is her 114th T20 international. She's 14 runs shy of 1,400 runs. Highest score of 70 not out, averaging just over 20. Comes in at Ireland looking good. And that little spurt from Lewis has taken them. They were around a run a ball required, but it's now well below that 23 of 40. We'll be confident of going on to victory, but you never know. Delaney immediately down the track at the bowler.
And Laura Delaney loves using her feet. Very reliable character in this kind of a situation. Just as Leah Paul is fairly reliable at hitting switch hits and sweeps behind the wicket, Laura Delaney is at her most comfortable when she's running down the pitch.
Interesting to hear when you were talking about Ireland trying to suss out these bowlers, because a lot of them are an unknown quantity. In fact, when I was talking with Gabby Lewis, was in a press conference during the week, and obviously Laura Delaney as well, saying what do you think about the Zimbabwe lineup? Well, we haven't heard about it yet, and we're going to wait for Twitter to put it up. So they're a bit of an unknown quantity at times. Oh, it's nicely carved, but there's a fielder down there, but they're going to run through for the quick single. Good call from Delaney. That was her call to the danger end. But, yeah, a bit of an unknown quantity, so they're trying to suss them out, and Zimbabwe did bog them down just for a little bit. Lewis took a little while to get going, but when she did, took herself past the 14th 50 in T20 international cricket, and has laid a very, very good foundation for victory here if Ireland can take it over the line. Not done yet. Stranger things happen in international cricket. It's a good comeback from Suma. She was conceded a no ball first ball, which went for 4, and then a 6 off the free hit. Delaney again confident down the ground, but not a bad ending to that over from Suma, just the 2 from the last 4 deliveries and a wicket before that. And with end of 14 overs, 97 for 3, Ireland need 21 for victory.
And Gabby Lewis, as the scorecard shows us, has been the hero of the day with 67 off 49. Not much on offer for Hunter or Prendergast today. Paul and Delaney have the rest of this innings to try and get to their total of 118 needed.
Still batting to come as well. Rebecca Stokel, Louise Little, Maguire, all can bat.
Definitely Stokel and Little both love hitting hard down the ground. Eileen Kelly's made herself a bit of an all-rounder in T20 cricket. Put in some big contributions at really important times for Ireland over the last 3 or 4 years.
Leah Paul looking to get Ireland over the line in her 50th T20 International, the 25-year-old from Dublin. 50th cap today for her. Kusha now bowling her final over. Respectable enough figures, none for 16 so far in her first 3.1 overs. Bowling from the St. John's or commentary box end to the left-hander. The only one in the Irish batting lineup. There's the ramp, and that will be effective too, is it? Yeah, there's a fielder down there. I thought that was going to go all the way to the boundary ropes, but it's been cut off, so it's single to the total. One more to Paul, and Ireland just inching away now to the 3 figures.
And it will be interesting to see how fielding plans change, how batting plans change after these players have all got a good look at each other today.
Yeah, 2 more games to go in this series. T20, Tuesday and Wednesday here back at Pembroke. Decent crowd in today. Good Zimbabwe supporters away to our left-hand side. They've been dancing and singing and enjoying themselves today. It's well run. Took on the fielder. It's getting a little grey and a little cooler here at Pembroke, but I don't think we're going to have any problems with finishing out the game, which is great. We had plenty of rain in this Sandymount area this morning, but thankfully abated by the time we got into playing this, and we got to start on time. Ireland 99 for 3, Paul facing on 3, Delaney at the other end on 2.
We certainly would have taken a full match this morning if we were offered it. It was great work by Dale McDonough and team to get this ground to the standard that it is to play a full match, and they've just passed the 100 there in the 14.4 overs. 3 down. Leah Paul, 8 off 11. Laura Delaney, 2 off 4.
That's hit through the covers for 4. Just for 1 second, I thought the fielder was short cover, maybe interested there, but it was hit hard. Up and over her and down to the boundary ropes for 4. I was just about to say that Ireland could just take the 1s and 2s and just fall over the line, really, but Laura Delaney's not going to have anything to do with that. It's a fine shot.
It's hard to resist for Laura Delaney when she's given width and it's full. She loves the drive. She loves playing through and over covers in her slot there.
It's good to see her back to form as well and getting over her injury problems. It's nicely played as well. Just open to the face of the bat. Can they cut it off down there? No, they can't. No. Consecutive boundaries. Ireland pushing closer to their total. Just 10 required now. But she missed series against England and Sri Lanka as well. Lost the captaincy as well to Gabby Lewis. But she looks fitter. She looks trimmer. And she certainly has played those last 2 balls delightfully. One through the covers. That one backward a square. And the despairing dive of third can't cut that off.
And she's a very hard player to bowl to, especially when she's in the great form she's in. 108 for 3 after 15. And Leopold just ticking along, 8 off 11. As Laura Delaney has been the enforcer in the last couple of overs.
Let's congratulate Amy Hunter. When she reached 5, she got past 1,000 runs in T20 international cricket in her 44th international, a high score of 101 also against Zimbabwe. Just 19 years of age now. That's a lot of games for a 19-year-old. Came on the scene when she was 16, but out early, got for 9, the score on 39. But Lewis stayed there to make 67. Or the Prendergast, a surprise one. Shakura bowling her for 6, but Leopold and now Delaney. With 5 overs to go, Ireland just need 10.
Zimbabwe have managed to keep up their energy in the field. We've got a good buzz here. You can tell they're delighted to be out playing an international series away from home.
Yeah, good support here as well. Always nice to see a crowd at these internationals as well. It's a fine setting here. Club you know well, of course.
Yeah, yep. Played a lot of cricket here against Pembroke. Brilliant club. They really do put a lot on for women's cricket as well. They're huge advocates for the women's game.
Yeah, one of 2 grounds in close proximity to each other in the Sandymount area. Just across the road is Railway Union. Less than 10 now required. Yeah, they say Ireland cricket can be a hidden sport because if you pass through small towns in Ireland, you can see the GA grounds prominent in the towns. But cricket can be a lot of grounds, especially around the Dublin area, can be in around housing estates and things like that, so they're not visible from the roads, which can be a bit of a shame. But our international teams have certainly put Ireland on the map in the last couple of years. Men in particular, back in 2007 when they made that big breakthrough, beating Pakistan, the women qualifying for World Cups themselves as well now these days. Hoping to do so when the World Cup qualifiers for the T20 come up shortly. Ireland just now 8 runs required.
Last time Leopold was on strike, there was a bit of a debate whether to bring cover in and drop mid-off instead. Instead, they've opted to keep cover out. Leopold will be looking at mid-off there.
Just well. 2 hits needed for Ireland to win this game. Seven now required. Never really looked like Zimbabwe were going to win this game. Their total was just too low. Ireland pegged them back. Tulipano made 42. And Ndula made 20. And outside of that, the 16-year-old Biza made 11. Nobody else made double figures. So 117 for 9 off their 20 overs was never really going to be enough when we were talking about perhaps a good total would be about 140. Oops. Oh, it's got straight through the wicketkeeper's hands, and they should come back for a second bye here. There's all sorts going on there.
It appears to have beaten everyone. It's been called wides. Much to the wicketkeeper's relief.
4 now to win. Will Delaney fancy wrapping up in style? Thought about it. That's another wide. Barry trying desperately not to get into Laura Delaney's hitting arc. And in doing so, she's just overextending herself. Oh, seagulls are getting ready in the background.
It is a tricky enough action that she's got to execute. And if you're slightly wrong, it's easy to bowl wide.
Oh, and Delaney's gone. Going for the big one to end the game. Big, thick edge, straight through to the wicketkeeper, who gleefully takes it. And Delaney departs for 11. Ireland have lost their 4th wicket, which is 3 runs to win. They're 115 now for 4. Delaney be disappointed to get out in that manner.
Muted celebrations when there's so few runs to win. But a well-deserved wicket there for Chapari. Managed to come back after a couple of wide deliveries there. And again, bit of width. Delaney has stepped a little bit too far away from the ball. It's moved away from her slightly. And great catch there by Modesta Mupachikwa.
She just flung her hands at that, didn't she? There was not a lot of footwork at all. As you say, she just backed away from it. Yeah, it wasn't a bad ball at all. Get rid of the Ireland number 5. So Rebecca Stokel in her stead. She won't be out there long, I wouldn't think so, the 25-year-old. 53rd T20 for her today. She has the chance to hit the winning runs now. Just 3 required. Now that's flicked around the corner, but there's a fielder down at fine, so just the one.
Stokel to keep the strike there. Well picked up on her first ball.
End of 16, 116 for 4. So no Eva Canning or Christina Coulter-Riley or Sophie McMahon in the Irish starting 11 today. Do you think there might be changes during the week, or will they stick with this winning formula if it comes to pass?
It's hard to say with a new coach being introduced, and I don't yet know how Lloyd Tennant works and how he operates, but there's certainly a case to be made for any of those 3 players if they're training and playing well. Then again, you always get these coaches that don't want to change winning teams. So it'll be interesting to see whether he chooses to rotate the 11 as the series goes on.
2 for victory. And that's a good stop.
These 2 play their cricket together in Marion.
Surprised it didn't run through for the single there.
Yeah.
I thought it was an easy single, but Stokel keeps the strike and has the chance of taking Ireland home again. Good diving stop, but it got away from the fielder initially, so I thought there was a single on there. Nevertheless, Chigora bowling. Swing and a miss. He dug that one in short.
I've been impressed by bowlers wanting to hit the pitch hard today from Zimbabwe.
And Stokel is a tall player, so that really got up on her.
She is indeed. A short ball getting up to Stokel compared to getting up to Amy Hunter is a big difference.
Yeah. Still we wait. 2 needed. Well, Chigora is making the Irish batters wait.
She's determined to keep this game going as long as she possibly can.
Good spell from her. This is her final over, obviously, but 2 for 16.
She's been very impressive.
Got rid of Hunter for 9. Paul Prendergast for 6. Still 2 needed. Should be it. Well, it's 1 anyway. So scores are level. Didn't quite beat the fielder down there, 3rd. So 117 for 9. Zimbabwe reached. Ireland now 117 for 4. Just the 1-1 needed. Nia Paul facing on 10, the left-hander. How's she going to go about this? Drop and run, maybe? Just fielder well spread. Coming in now to try and cut it off. Just only need 1 single. And that will be it. Just dropped into the leg side for Lauren Chase from the fielding side, but it matters not because Ireland have reached the target. Just shy of 17 overs and make a winning start to this 3 T20 series. Ireland win by 6 wickets, and having curtailed Zimbabwe to 117 themselves, it always looked likely that Ireland would get home. A little bit bogged down early on by that wonderful 67. Eventually, when Lewis got going from 49 deliveries, really laid the platform for this victory.
Yeah, definitely did. Gabby Lewis is a great performance from her, especially having done the hard yards early, as you mentioned. Things weren't easy out there at the beginning, and she really showed that you can be rewarded if you wait it out fight through the tough overs and get to play a bit more of an expansive game as the innings goes on.
Handshakes all round. Mark Hawthorne shakes hands with Stokel and Paul as they depart the scene. Zimbabwe will be looking for better now in the second match, which is coming up on Tuesday. The third match on Wednesday before we move into the 2 one-day international games. But a winning start for the new coach as well.
Definitely, he'll be delighted to have started off in a positive note and get the win with these first series with the Ireland women. And a lot of positives there, especially in the bowling innings for Zimbabwe to take from today, despite not scoring enough as we'd predicted, not getting that 140, 150 that they'd hoped for.
Well, that's the new coach. You can see him there just disappearing at the screen on your right-hand side. It's Lloyd Tennant. He'll be happy with that. It's nice to get off to a winning start in a new gig, huh?
Definitely, yeah, yep. And yeah, with so much cricket coming up now at the back end of the season, yeah, he'll be looking to continue the good form.
And the weather played ball too, which is great. Got through the 40 overs, which is great. And here's a look at the cards.
So Zimbabwe, as we said, just didn't score quite enough runs. 117 off their 29 down. Tirapano was the main contributor there with 42 off 50, and Nuluvo was 20 off 24. Other than that, not a huge amount of contributions from the other players. And as we saw, Nuluvo and Tirapano partnership-wise did well with 37, as did Tipano and Biza, who really looked impressive when she came in, but not to be, getting out fairly early in her innings, 9 off 11, and then Tirapano and Shapari at the end put on 21.
That's the Ireland bowling figures. Very impressive spell from Cara Murray. 3 for 19. Arlene Kelly as well, chipping in with 2 for 10. Orla Prendergast, I thought, bowled extremely well. Took just the 1 wicket for 24 runs.
And the Ireland batting card tells a different story. Gabby Lewis, the main contributor, with 67 off 49. Leah Paul helping out at the end there, as did Laura Delaney. And extras counted for 12 to bring them to their 118 off 16.5 today. And Gabby Lewis and Amy Hunter started off well, albeit maybe a little slower than what they would have wanted with 39. And then Gabby Lewis and Paul brought it home together with 48.
That's the bowling figures. And Chigora, 3.5 overs, 2 for 18, bowled with good guile and good pace at times. A wicket maiden as well in that spell. Wickets for Chipari and Suma, the other wickets to fall there. So the match summary. Zimbabwe lost the toss. They were asked to bat by Gabby Lewis, the Irish captain. They made 117 for 9, with Tirapano top scoring on 42. Ireland in reply got that total just shy of 17 overs, 118 for 4. And Gabby Lewis top scored on 67, really led the platform from those 49 deliveries. Slowest enough start, but when she got motoring, Lewis looked imperious out there. And a terrific knock from her. So Ireland win by 6 wickets. Match 1 done and dusted. We are going to move to match 2 on Tuesday. We'll have full coverage here from Sydney Parade in Pembroke and Sandymount in Dublin of that game, and also the game on Wednesday before we move to the one-day internationals. Good victory for Ireland. Against a bit of an unknown quantity, Zimbabwe. Bit of work to do for them to do in the second match on Tuesday. So Ireland 1-0 up in the 3-match series so far. Good crowd in today as well. And entertaining day's cricket, and was under threat earlier on today because of the rain earlier this morning, but thankfully that has abated. And we got through the full day's play here in Sandymount.
Is he standing there?
So, happy enough with the performance from Ireland today? Former Irish player yourself?
Yeah, I think Ireland will take a lot from that. They did extremely well. Their bowling was great. They would have been happy to restrict Zimbabwe to 117. And they really and Gabby Lewis showed with the batting that she was able to really build an innings there that contributed.
That's her 14th half century in the T20 internationals.
Impressive for such a young player.
Yes, she's only 24. There's some of the Irish supporters now gathering with the Irish players. Some selfies and some some autographs as well. Arlene Kelly, Leopold. Congratulations to her on her 50th international. Well, Ireland have won the first game of this T20 series, so let's go to the presentation area and join Isabel Joyce.
So Ireland have come out on top in this first of the 3 T20I matches against Zimbabwe by 6 wickets with 19 balls remaining. So first of all, we're going to talk to Zimbabwe's captain. They've come out on the wrong side of this one, Chipo Tirapani. Chipo, how do you assess that performance?
I still feel I think we should have scored 140 plus. We were going to be in the game. I think we failed to build partnership. So I think we need to work on that. Yeah. You did really well, 42 for you. So what will you be passing on to the rest of the team in terms of what worked well for you? Yeah, I think we need to be patient. I think we were rushing to play our shots. So before we assess the pitch first. So I think we just have to be patient and wait, yeah.
The bowling and fielding looked really impressive. Were you pleased with how things went? Albeit the game came to a close pretty quickly at the end, but for a long period there you were really in the game and causing problems.
Yeah, I think the bowlers, they did bowl very well. They were bowling good channels. They really executed what we were planning on, yeah.
Finally, just a couple of days before the second T20, what will you be looking to take from today and bring into that game?
Yeah, I think we'll continue with the way we fielded and the way we bowled. Then work on our betting, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me. Well done yourself and best of luck in the next one. That's Chipo Mugeri Tirapani from Zimbabwe. So first of all, I'd like to call in Cricket Ireland President Donna Armstrong. We're going to have the player of the match. So honourable mentions, Tirapano, as I said, got 42 from 50. Ireland's Cara Murray was impressive, 3 wickets for just 19 runs in her 4 overs. But for her 67 from 49, 13 fours and 1 6, it's Gabby Lewis. Thanks, Donna. Will you keep the silverware for me, Donna? And then, there we go. We've got it all sorted. Gabby, congratulations. I'll talk to you about your own performance first. It didn't look like you had it all your own way. Zimbabwe made it difficult, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, I think it wasn't a pitch that we thought maybe we thought it might be a bit quicker. So I think it just gave us that we didn't need to give that extra second just to get in. And I think me and Amy, we caught up towards the back end of the power play, which actually I think at the start we were a bit, just trying to look at the pace and feel the ball a bit more, but yeah, look, I think we caught up, and I think we knew once the spinners come on we could cash in. So yeah, I think look, it was a bit tricky, but I think we absorbed the pressure and dug it out a bit.
First game of a big 6 weeks, as we said at the toss. Did you feel like you really wanted to hit the ground running with your own personal performance with the bat in hand?
Yeah, I think so. I think after Pakistan and that defeat, I think I've done a lot of work on my power hitting with Kevin O'Brien and really worked on my own personal game. So I'm happy that the rewards are showing out there, and yeah, look, it's a great team performance, and I think one thing, our fielding was really good today, which I know has been a big topic for us, and I'm really proud of the team for turning around from Pakistan.
Now, moving on to, as a captain, you've got your first win in the series. It was pretty convincing in the end. What particularly pleased you in the fielding innings? We'll start off with.
There was a lot, to be honest. I think, the way Lara McBride came in there, a lot of nerves, it was her first game, not only the way she bowled, but the way she fielded that catch. I think it just lifts the whole team, and especially Cara Murray as well. I think, she's had a tough 2 or 3 years, but I think coming back and like hitting the ground running with that, and just having the confidence in her. You know, we all believe that she can do it. I think it's just having that self-belief. And yeah, the fielding. I think there was loads of things I can't even mention. You know, Orla Bell brilliantly, Arlene Bell brilliantly.
Arlene 2 for 10.
Yeah, too many things to mention.
It brings me on to my next question, which is, you know, we were talking about what we thought the starting 11 might be today, and it's really quite difficult to tell what even the 14 will be, let alone what the starting 11. That must be pleasing for you.
Oh, it's so pleasing. Like, I think that's the longest selection meeting we've had. It was just so hard to leave out some really good players. But I think you just have to look at the greater picture, and it's so good for the future of the game. And I think it's only going to get worse and worse, which is a good thing. But no, it's so good, and it just means that, you know, when you're out here, you just want to cash in on the opportunity. And you know, that's exactly what Lara McBride did today. She got the opportunity and she absolutely took it. So yeah, delighted captain here today.
Final question. I suppose it was a pretty convincing win, but there's always things to work on. What will you take from today and maybe look to put right by Tuesday?
I think we can be slightly more attacking with the bat. I know we got the feel for the pitch now. I think we know what it's going to be like. So can we step it up a bit more? You know, obviously it depends if we're batting first or we're fielding first. But yeah, I think that just adapting to the conditions a bit more earlier.
Okay, well, congratulations on your player of the match and first win in the series. That's Ireland's Gabby Lewis, and that's it for the post-match presentation.